The word decent doesn't apply to me.
Incoming transmission.
Welcome to Saving Star Trek, a show talking about one of my favorite shows, Enterprise. I am Linda Park. I play Hoshi Sato and also Empress Sato. So enjoy this show. I love that it's finding a whole new life on the streaming services. And you better hit that like button or Empress Sato will not be happy. I mean, she could make a storm happen, and she could really make your life hard. Anyways, enjoy the show, hit that like button, and thank you for being a fan of Enterprise.
Difficult test facing any captain, any crew. Most difficult test facing any captain, any crew. The loss of a shipment.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Saving Star Trek. I'm your buddy, Admiral Teague. Welcome to the show. You just saw our little recap video essay here of Similitude, tonight's episode. And, we've got a few twists and turns in it. And then also, after Similitude, we'll be taking a little trip to Carpenter Street in Detroit, where JT will be advising us about how not Detroit it is. So I welcome you all. It's great to see you here. Lot going on. I hope you like the debut of the new format. It's a little bit different this week. We gave you a video essay. I'm going to try to do that a little more often. This was a recap. What did you guys think of the Space 1999 style beginning?
Not bad.
Pretty good. Liked it.
Welcome to my bridge crew. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Is it Y2K compliant?
Yeah, the episode may not have been at the time, right? Welcome to JT Kirk, Resolute Germ, and Sean Carter here with me. We have 2 episodes for you on tap tonight, and I guess the first one might be the better one. This one is Similitude. I think it's episode 10 of season 3. We're getting into the meat of it, and we're probably going to have some sort of a season like meeting later on where we wrap this up. But I do have a Similitude slideshow, so go for it. That video that you saw, basically what happens is this: so that we can, because there's so much competition right now, and because people are just taking advantage of the fact that we have reestablished Star Trek on Saturday nights, and you know what? When the flag was dropped, we picked it up. We picked it up together, the 4 of us, and we have kept Star Trek alive at this time, and we have been at the service of this community, and we have had nothing but problems. We have been bot swarmed. We have been personally attacked. We have endured horrible comments about the people who did Star Trek before us, as though that was something bad, or as though someone could compare us. There's no comparison to what went before us. It was fantastic. This is my own show. These are my friends. We crafted this together, and we're really damn proud that you joined us for what's going to be the most entertaining Star Trek show on Saturdays, the longest running Star Trek show on Saturdays as we hit week 56 or 57 undisturbed. I don't know when we started. It might be a year, but certainly we have 2 episodes. The first one we're going to have is Similitude. But I guess, do we have this week in Star Trek news? Is Buddy out there? I sent Buddy a pass. If anyone sees Buddy, let me know so that we can make him an offer to beam over here for a few minutes. There's 4 Otoy documentaries out. What do I mean by that? Think Unification, the Unification people. I watched one of the 4. It was absolutely excellent. But while we're doing that, let me just say welcome to Radioactive, John the Beagle Dad. Welcome to Kimberly Ann Hart. Ruby Hoove, who is so nice and gifted 1 Admiral Teague membership. Gosh, who got that one? Let me see. Can I find it? It looks like Carl Rome got that one. Congratulations, Carl. Am I saying that correctly? You know what? I am just glad so many people are here.
Admiral? I thought
yes.
Carl Rove.
Carl Rove will be here soon.
Whiteboard for this.
Yeah. Wait, no. His name is Carl.
Well, you know what? I want to say, as far as people who are from that administration and that era, here goes monetization real early. My favorite guy was Dick Army. Now that's a name. That's a name. What are you with? I'm with the Army. What Army? The Kiss Army? I'm with the Dick Army. Dick Army was a fucking fantastic name. Lawrence Eagleburger was a fantastic name. I don't know if he was the best president. I understand he's one of the most low-regarded presidents ever. And, like, if people thought that Trump was unpopular, George W. Bush was, like, half Trump's lowest point. 24. Did he creep down into the teens for 5 minutes there and only start going back up because he was leaving office, right? It was like people just like it came out like...
he was at the lowest when he left the office because of the mortgage.
It actually came... Actually, honestly, it was so low from what he had done that it crept back up because he was working with the new incoming president, who was at that time popular, to try to save the economy. And he was like marshaling everything he could to bail us out of what he had done. And he was like, it was my fault. It was like, holy shit, this is a rare moment of candor. He must not be running for re-election anymore. It's like he only has 2 weeks left in the job. This is the best he's ever been. He's like, I'm going to do the best I ever done. And like the last 2 weeks of his presidency were excellent. He was one of the most professional handoffs of power in the history of our nation. Obama was able to hit the ground running, and George W. Bush was right up there on Capitol Hill campaigning for the things that they wrote together. A rare moment back in time of partisan cooperation, and I wish we had things like that again. Do I think everyone who was involved was perfect? No. But you know what? I guess we're going to have some fun with some things that were in the news at that time. We're going to take a break from current events, and we're going to do science. About this time, they grew a human ear on the back of a rat. So we're going to make an episode about cloning Trip.
Sure. Why not?
Admiral.
Yes.
Before we get further, and I just want to make a comment about your
Oh, hey,
intro
Resolute Germ. Thank you. Go ahead.
Just a comment here about the intro that we had. So you had mentioned about how we built the show and everything. And I know the four of us have talked backstage about this, but I want to extend to the chat that you all have helped build this show to what it is too. We would not be able to do this without you guys, and you guys are the oil that really keeps it running. And we all appreciate you, and we love interacting with you. And you guys are here at the best Trek show on the best pop culture stream on Saturday night, and I absolutely love being here, and I love that everyone is here. So
say we all.
yes.
So say we all. So say we all. Sean, well said. You know, we came here at a tough time. There had been tragedy, there had been problems, and we took it right on the chin. There was a lot of anger, and there was phasers firing all over the place. All we could do is keep low and keep the spirit of Star Trek alive. And you guys, like Sean said, were right there with us helping out. So tweet out the streams live. Engaged views are the best. Give us a like. We're going to put up a poll for you now, but then we'll also we'll look at your comments for sure. Here's what we got to do. We have been forced to kind of enact a couple of format changes. Communal viewing is preferred. We're doing that now on Gerbs, and we just had a fucking freeing and great experience that is, turning on the YouTube machine and just enjoying the power of YouTube, where we drank in the people who wanted the commentary, and we just had a good time commenting along with the episode. And what we did was we did a double, and we gave everyone a chance. We played one on my channel and one on Germ's channel as far as the theater goes, and then we played the opposites. So you had a chance to watch both. I hope everyone did. But in the future, there's going to be a pretty good chance. We have 2 comprehensive slideshows for you today. And the reason why it's a 2-episode show more than anything else is maybe it's a 1-episode show because we get really into the discussion of similitude, but I can't see it because a lot of these questions weren't that far into the future. They weren't very forward-looking. Hello, Neon Earth. Good to see you. And thank you, Tony, for the Stark raid. We appreciate that. We're going to greet everybody. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to hang out and engage with you for a few minutes at a time. Then we're going to have conversations where others of us will be diving into the chat, typing away. I'll be modding and working the slideshow, so I won't be as engaged as everyone else is and as I'm engaged during the week when I'm on solo, the lot, or with Germ. But we have the best team, and we have a great, fantastic Star Trek video essay and a slide hello Trek reviewer, a slideshow for you for the second episode. So we gave you a chance to watch it. Communal viewing during the stream. Maybe for one of the Star Trek movies or something like that. Maybe for major milestones. But right now, the Star Trek watch party is the Star Trek show. Congratulations. It's more engagement with you. It's more time to have your ideas and thoughts about this. And as I begin the similitude slideshow, I guess I'll just go around the horn and start with, does anybody remember watching this one for the first time and what they thought of it? And was your mind changed by rewatching it? My mind was slightly changed.
It was better than I remembered. Just slightly, though. I remember it being weird when I first saw it on television and said, this is a little bit iffy for Star Trek, and it's a little bit iffy watching it the first time. It's It makes more sense now than it did 21 years ago, but not that much more.
Fair enough. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, when I first watched it, and I know there's reasons behind that they kind of throw out there for why they do this, but when I first saw it, I was angry. So I'm like, are we going to do this indie thing or not? Like, make up your mind. Are we doing this indie season or not at this point? Because it's yet another episode of where it's like not important that they're trying to save all of humanity, right? And so then the next part of it was, okay, well, why do they have to grow an entire replicant of Trip?
or wake it up?
So
Yeah, exactly.
real quick, you guys-
Why are we doing any of this? So I know they try to put something out there. When I first saw it, I didn't like it. I was like, this is not cool. It
All right, so
reminded
we have
me
a
of
special-
Tuvix. It reminded me of Tuvix.
There's some Tuvix in here. There's a few episodes built into this one, Tom Riker. So we have an extra choice today in the DF thing. So it's A, B, C. That speaks for itself for similitude. And D, F. Time travel sucks, yo. Like if you don't do time travel and you want to opt out of this one, that's your DF. Time travel sucks, yo. You don't have to dig this. This is the flimsiest of all the time travel episodes as far as how we do it. It reminded me of Day of the Daleks, I believe is the name of the episode. It's the one where Doctor Who goes back in time to Scaros, and it's where they roll out Davros, and he doesn't have the TARDIS. He has the time travel amulet or time travel like bracelet that they all have to hold on to, and they fly through space with that. So it was dumb, dumb like that. They walk out one door and they walk into the other world in Carpenter Street too. So we got two pretty bad ones. But in similitude, the one thing I remember at the time about this was I was angry that I had to look up the word in the dictionary. We used to have these things called dictionaries. I didn't realize you could do it on your computer. I had one by this time. I looked up the word similitude, and it's a real word. That's what really sort of got me to calm down a little bit, because I'm like, they made up a goddamn word. But it turns out similitude's a real word. It means
It's okay. They can make
Exactly.
up words because I mean Kurtzman makes up ratings. So
that is true, but it's like it's not like we have this long tradition of made up words.
Pure anti-proton. Absolutely pure.
Okay, we make up words all the time. All right, it's on me, but we're gonna try not to break down into a rant about the garbage day machine until maybe after the episode plus sometime. So don't worry, guys. I've got it together on this one. But as far as the episode similitude goes, I guess we can now start our video presentation slideshow.
Hold on, Admiral.
Captain.
Yeah.
I've got just a short time frame where I can do this, but if I could have the camera, I want to
Sure,
show off
hold on.
a new member of the crew here.
Go for it.
There we go. There he is.
Oh,
It's here.
look
Here's
at that
Rudy.
little guy.
aw.
This is Rudy. He's an Australian Shepherd, and we got
Oh
him
yeah,
yesterday.
awesome.
He's about 9 weeks old.
Very nice.
All right, he's cute as could be. Is he part dingo? Maybe.
No, he's a pure Australian Shepherd.
Does that have dingo mixed in though? Right.
No,
I don't
no,
think
Just
so.
curious.
He's
No,
not
they
going
don't.
after any babies.
no.
But-
Okay.
They're all- you gotta keep them well exercised.
Oh yeah. Well, we've got a Shepherd Husky mix, so he gets walked every day. And this
Oh,
guy's
yeah.
Gonna,
Yeah,
This guy's gonna get it. Get plenty. He just wants to snuggle with me.
He'll
Look at-
definitely keep
he's
you
so
in shape.
loving. Look at that. He
Yeah.
is just yeah.
And he's
They're so
he's
cute when
adjusted
they're
really
young.
well. We only got him yesterday, and now he just wants to crawl up on you. You want to say hi? Say hi.
Oh,
Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go take him out now.
hey, you're wearing the Star Trek shirt. I got you.
Yeah, I got rid of
Yeah,
the,
it looks
the
good.
pizza one. So, anyway, thanks, Dan. I gotta go get him out of here before he chews up my socks.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, and I'll put the similitude video episode as soon as I disembiggen Sean. Here's the similitude. Here we go. The similitude video essay.
Most difficult test facing any captain, any crew. The loss of a shipmate.
That right there is the tone we start the episode on. And we don't know what the fuck is going on. And I'm feeling Wrath of Khan vibes right away. And it's very obvious that that's what they're trying to do. And I thought that, for one thing, it was not a problem right away. Scott Bakula, he's not trying to be Captain Kirk or Admiral Kirk more correctly at that moment, but he has the gravitas, and he's doing a fantastic job here of just addressing his crew with great seriousness. I thought that this was like he showed himself as a kindly and benevolent leader. At least we're seeing that in this opening moment as we sit here wondering. And this is when Star Trek knew how to write and open. So I don't know, JT,
it was
was
a
you
solemn moment. It was a very solemn moment without having
great
to
music.
walk around in hallways crying on each other's shoulders. And you know where I'm going with that. There's a whole show on Star Trek.
We
Fake
promise
Trek
not to
that's-
do that until later, but yes,
I
we
know,
will do it later.
I
We
know.
promise.
But yeah,
Look-
no, this is a solemn moment that actually, you watch it and you feel something, which, people aren't saying anything, but Archer really here, and you're just all told, put on this uniform and stand here, and they do a good job. They really do.
Yeah,
So,
it's a great stinger. And if you hadn't watched any of the commercials for the episode until then, they hook you with the mystery.
Well, here's the thing. It was hard to catch a commercial on a network that was, not so great anyway. But I mean, like right away, it's evocative and it got me in the feels. And this is what goes on in my heart. You ready?
Spock!
Right? I'm back there. Not totally, but this is Star Trek. It's a Starfleet funeral. And, it's,
Spock!
and how did how did Trip lose his life?
Ship out of danger.
We're gonna mirror that here. Although there's not gonna be a moment between Archer and
Right.
Trip.
and that was the
Yeah.
smart way to do that.
It was.
And
Don't
in
ape
all
that moment.
fairness, he put the ship in danger.
Yeah.
He was just incorrect about something. He cleared it through chain of command, but Jerm is correct. What happens in this episode is Trip has become a workaholic in the wake of the loss of his sister. And he's really just burning the candle at both ends. And don't worry, guys. We got a picture of DePaul's feet in here. I made sure to get that for you. It's only in the episode for a second. I know that's a thing, so I got her feet into the video.
Who
I don't
here is
trust
on
them.
onlyfeet.com?
I'll never forgive them for the death of my
Rex Ryan. Yes, JT. It's great. We have overlapping great jokes, guys. When I edit the episodes, I get to go back and hear them all at the same time, and I'm just like cracking up because I only get a third of them. So this is it, the stinger. What in the name of God could have happened, gentlemen, sirs, madams? What in the name of God is going on in this episode of Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry? So right away, we time hop backward. Now, this was a smart move, and it doesn't really let the cat out of the bag, but it gives you some hope. You're like, where are they going with this? No one really likes time travel. I would say this is more like playing around a little bit with the time frame within the episode. This episode has a wraparound where the beginning and the end are the present.
Oh yeah, but it's not that
the
time
middle is in
travel at all. Like is where they're
No.
changing anything. No. It's
Well,
like,
they're changing some stuff, but not by changing time. I mean, where's Daniels when you need him, right?
Yeah, flashback. There you go. John the Beagle Dad's got it. That's the word.
Thank you, John. And let's say hi to everybody for a minute. Hello to John the Beagle Dad. I see ETS2ATS Trucker Martin. Hello, sir. Gavin Blackburn is here. Sir. Steve M. KLL64. Sir, good to see you. It's good to see everybody. It's the Phobos. Sir. It's good to see Spock. And everybody's here. I'm looking to see if I missed anybody. I saw John the Beagle Dad. I saw Trucker Martin. Great to see you, buddy. Neon Earth, hello, from announcing the Stark raid. Thank you for the raid, Tony, doing your part. Keep Star Trek alive. That's difference between community and adversarialness. Orphan Zane, thank you for being here. Sir, good to see you, sir. Sirs and madams, welcome to our Star Trek show. We have a great one tonight. And, sir, Resolute Germ, I really thank you for the 99-cent super sticker, sir. It's very nice of you. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Would you like me to sing? Or would you like me not to sing? Jason Love's here, too.
I think we're good.
James Caserta's here. Hello, James. It's good to see you. Everybody hit that like button for me. Do me a favor. The Admiral needs to polarize the hull. I mentioned earlier, Ruby Who, very generous, gifting us 1 membership. Thank you so much. We got Kimberly Ann Hart here. And then earlier, people were hanging out, including our pal Radioactive. So let's jump down to the end of the chat. I'll keep an eye on that. You've all been greeted and greeted well. Hello to you, sirs and madams. So we hop back in time 2 weeks. It gives you some hope. And right away I'm thinking, well, this isn't my favorite kind of Star Trek, but I wish that candle wasn't there.
Can we just leave this screenshot for the whole show?
We are going to talk for a few minutes about the burgeoning relationship
Sean,
between
are
Trip
you,
and...
are you, that's because you're looking at the left side of the screen or the right side of the screen?
I'm looking at the right side of the screen, right between those 2 candles.
Sean, did you maybe put a Post-it note over the left side of the screen the way I did when I was watching a certain stream the other night?
No, I am singing Second Star to the right.
How funny was the
framing? And straight on till heaven. Oh, I mean,
the field goal.
How great was the Post-it note?
In the uprights.
That was great.
Next time I'm going to draw a face on it, if there is a next time. Hello, everybody. This is T'Pol, and, we get a little bit of Vulcan butt crack. That's been sort of a thing this season. And Trip right here is talking to T'Pol about how, he's got this great idea about how he can change the procedure by which they inject the warp plasma into the manifold. They compress it first. Now, none of this stuff is real and doesn't exist, but damn it, it's logical sounding. Our mistake is we're compressing the warp plasma inside the core. If we do it inside the injectors and compress it first, it'll have more power, and we'll have more stability at warp 5. So Trip is all on mission here, actually. If I'm Archer, I'm very proud of him. I just might say, sir, very controversial. We'll do that when we get home. But Archer's a dick for running the experiment, honestly. It's on Archer. But Trip is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. This should be stored in a computer subroutine, and also maybe jettisoned on a Type 1 probe back towards Federation space where a narrow beam transmission can be made to the Federation. Because this is very interesting stuff that should be tried out on, is it the Reliant, the new ship, or the Intrepid? They're building another one. The Columbia. No, they said last week it was the Intrepid. The Columbia, I think, is out there already.
Well, the Columbia doesn't come out until season 4.
Yeah, right.
There's one that's just about done.
On the Columbia is the next
The Intrepid
class,
was the one.
A different type.
The Intrepid was a different type. That's the one you're thinking of in the
that was in
back and forth in time.
That's the one we saw. It was close, but different. Yeah, and it had some weird fins on it, like a 1950s car. So at any rate, this is it, guys. If you're into feet, I mean, if shrimping's your thing, guys, you're gonna see it here. What did Gavin say?
The Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candles.
The Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candles cost like $75, and one of them exploded. The last time Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina exploded, I mean, it was a mess all over my ceiling, and I said Brad Pitt's going to kill me if he finds out about this. But I digest. That's Jolene Blaylock's foot, or did they bring in a foot model? Guys, what do you think? I'm thinking it's Jolene. But they could have had foot and hand models. I mean, they spent that kind of money. Look at those beautiful
Did they really need to? I don't know.
All I know is whoever did this waxed the back of their hands. This is not the hands of a mechanic.
They also
it's
really
not the cup of a carpenter.
Those are really soft feet. They might have had Jolene do it, but like, yeah, we're gonna send you to the manicurist, in the, you know, you're gonna get a mani pedi out of this and just enjoy.
So you, Trip.
Yeah. He's like, dang it, Braga, do I have to?
Trip's an actor who's probably like, woo, fabulous. Right? I mean, who knows? We don't know. We don't know. Although Colin Trenier in the Shuttle Pod, I'm sorry, in the Decon Chamber podcast or whatever it's called this week, because it changed names twice. He seems all right, whatever he is. I don't give a shit. He could be gay or he could be straight. He has been a delight in this show. He's a good actor. So he's telling DePaul about his plan. There are some risks to it that I might consider unwarranted. Gentlemen, what do you think of Trip's plan? And what do you think of JP Farrell putting his name there? He wanted us to know who he was. This is how I define unwarranted. Not having enough time with Jolene's ass before that guy's name went away. JP Farrell really reduced my enjoyment of this episode. He wanted to be remembered. I don't know if he wanted to be remembered for this. By the way, if you're coming through later, if you could watch with the browser tab open, we appreciate that. But, you know, our narrative style remains the same. So, yeah, she's trying to tell him, you know, be a little cautious, and she's pinching his feet too. It's not a 68, it's not a 70. It's somewhere in the middle there. It's as good as giving at receiving this episode. So
I was thinking of something totally different when you said that. Why is this the producer show? JP Farrell, you know, nothing against you, but your name should not be right there.
I guess his thought is like, yeah, like, you know what? Like, I'll let them see their feet, but I won't let them see the butt crack again. And you know what? Tramp stamps are in. I wish I was with Jolene. I wish my name was tramp stamped on her back. I'm gonna do that for wish fulfillment. This may have been wish fulfillment. If I was if I was JP Farrell, I'd been like, do me a favor, as for fun, make me a CGI version of this where it looks like she has it as a tramp stamp that I can hang on the wall in my office. Thank you. Yes, sirs. So their conversations have not been the greatest, but I think they're finally hitting their stride because neither one of these actors is all that bad. I usually don't have a problem with Trip and DePaul together. What did you guys think of this premise and they're hanging out? Give me your thoughts. Talk to me.
They're doing a good job making. It looks like they're getting more and more comfortable with each other. It's they're not overly comfortable, but showing good progression.
They are showing some pretty good progression. JT, what do you think? I know this lovey-dovey stuff just makes you sick.
It kind of really does. I was going to say, I don't know why we need him in any of this at all, but
if it was yeah, one should be with Hoshi.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
See,
sure
we're not against like same-sex relationships in Star Trek. We just want the right ones. And when Star Trek sends us their hot chicks that have these relationships, they're not sending their best anymore.
Exactly.
Wasn't Captain 3-Pack alive during this time? She could have lent her personal massager.
She might have only been, well, I don't know if she was in Starfleet at this time, right? She might have still been collecting all those stupid telephones. But
why does the engineer outrank the captain? Why is the stardate past the stardate for Wrath of Khan? Why do they ask what a stardate is and say they mean nothing? They absolutely have noticed that I've been paying attention. This was a troll. I've said this many times. They punish you for paying attention on that show, unlike this show where, you know, you pay attention and you get to see things you enjoy.
Other thing about that is the quarters are actually quite ample, but they're not like, you know, the size of a Kroger on the inside, you know. So
which is a supermarket for those of you in the Northeast. By the way, I'm getting the impression, the point of view, the camera is where the wall would be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They do a good job with that. The lighting's good. You know, it's not a bad scene. It really isn't. If I'm looking at everything else besides the one thing that everybody else is looking at.
Yeah.
We've
said this a few times. It seems like they were told that people were really sick of Star Trek. They needed to shake it up. These people, it's not like they didn't want to do Star Trek. They were told that doing Star Trek too much was killing Star Trek, so they needed to like un-Star Trek it a little bit and build it back up. So give people a little bit of a break if they wanted to have a show. I think the real move might have been a standalone movie with a different crew and see if that works, and then go back to Enterprise one more year later, because really timing wasn't right. That network, it would have been shown to be garbage by then. They could have gone somewhere else with it. I guess a lot of this too was the pressure to make that Paramount network work out. So anyway, there's her foot. You guys got to see it before. There we go. We got the Vulcan butt crack. Well, we don't quite have it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I did my best. But yeah, the conversation here, I could deal with exposition like this instead of Mikey Burnham walking.
Well, and when you watch this, that it's not going to be 15 minutes of the episode. They're restrained, right? A lot of shows that we watch, even back then, they would have stretched this and milked it for so much that, and don't you dare go with that, where everybody just went. This could have been just using up all of the time for the show. And it could have been like the Xindi and Trip love show or something. And instead, it's here. We'll see it for a minute and then it's done, which is all we need. At least for me. For a Star Trek thing, yeah, you can put this kind of stuff in there and it's not going to make it DS9, right? Where that was just a soap opera on a space station in a lot of ways. This has it, but it's tasteful. It's just the right amount. Yeah. Some of the stuff in chat. Anyway, is everybody else kind of agreeing with me on that, or you wanted to see less, more?
I agree with you. I mean, I would have rather her top be open a little more. I mean, we're gonna go all the way there. Why should she be a little bit gorgeous? You know what I mean? Like, let her be all the way gorgeous. So this scene lasted about 4 minutes tops. It was like 3 minutes 10 seconds. And by the way,
it's longer than I would have lasted.
I put a little note in there. That starts now. Do you want me to advance this a little more? Because Archer here is communicating with Trip. I guess we'll get to the causal incident, and then what I put in the chat will come into effect for a moment. Here's the causal incident. Trip has a logical sounding plan. It didn't sound like shit. They managed to somebody thought about how fuel injectors work in cars, and they applied it to the antimatter stream, and they talked about the warp core the same way you talk about what used to be thought of as a carburetor, what is now a fuel injector, crossfire fuel injection. Think about this. Trip has figured out a way to either have double barrels or like to crossfire that fuel injection, and that's his plan. We'll have a stable warp 5. We'll be able to go everywhere. Maybe we can hit warp 5.5. Maybe we can start to mess around with the Vulcans. We might have the tech we need right here. It's a better equation. Let's give it a try. Now,
see here, Captain. You see this ancient Earth vehicle called the General Lee? Well, it had a turbocharger on it. Now, if I could slap one of these into the warp core, I'm pretty sure we could hit 5.5.
And that's like Mayweather starts stretching out his collar a little bit and looking over at Trip, and he's like, I know why you called Shuttle Pod 2 the Colonel Green, Trip. So some stuff's gonna happen. We go to warp, and it's pretty cool. I liked that. This was very clear to me when things went wrong.
Cool. Yeah.
But it's very clear when things go wrong. We get to see the foot again, so you guys will love that. But here we go, our causal moment where Archer, gives Trip the AIOK. And I like the way they filmed Trip there. They made him look like a madman. He looked unprincipled. He looked driven. He looked like he hadn't done enough homework. It was really good acting. I like Connor Trenier. And look at him here. He's eager. Look at his eyes. You know what it reminded me of? You know what went through my mind? Quint. Captain Quint.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He wants a bigger boat. He wants to make his boat bigger. That's how he's going to do it.
But
so here we go, Archer.
Trying. What a foreign concept we don't see on Thursdays.
Oops, I messed that up. But really quickly, I have a really big problem with this. You can go warp 0.5, it's stable, the engine's stable. You're very far from any spaceport. There's no vampire space station in the fucking abyss. You're in the worst part of the Delphic Expanse. It's filled with magnetic rocks that are making life a living hell. Everything sucks in here, and you're going to run a fucking experiment? Can you guys give me a couple of minutes of discussion here on Archer's command decision and the repercussions for Trip? You're going to run the Expanse on this mission. What? They have to take risks, but you transmit this information home to Starfleet. You cannot field test your engines with an unstable. Think Star Trek: The Motion Picture. He's talking about that kind of danger in the middle of the Delphic Expanse, far from home, and he has to destroy the Xindi weapon. Warp 5's good enough, right?
It's not that.
Take it away, boys.
Not that really dangerous. If it wasn't for running into that random magnetic rock storm, they would have been okay. And,
See, and
but
I don't
frankly,
know.
they are running out of fuel.
Yeah, I don't know if they're at quite the desperation point to try something like this, and it is a high risk thing to do. It is a high risk action. I think I'm going to agree with Teague here because he should be laser focused on saving humanity, not on other things to the ship. Now, where do you draw the line? What if they find, some store in space where they get quantum torpedoes or, phasers that are 3 times more expensive? Do you mount those to the ship? I don't know. I'm not saying I have a real solid line on this, but I would not have made this choice without further study. I think it was done a little bit too hastily. So, Sean, you were going to do it, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
fair enough.
no risk, no reward.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the sound?
No, I mean the engines. You were going to do the engines.
Oh, yeah. I had no problem with them doing that. I mean, they've done some experimental stuff before, and Archer trusts Trip, and every other innovation that they've come up with up to now has been good. And I mean, who's to say they didn't communicate this over to Starfleet? It would have been a throwaway line, easily fixed.
Well, I wonder if they had done this, if it would have broken the ship somehow that they didn't anticipate. Yeah. And then now you're stuck with
in the Delphic
guy,
Expanse
with some guy from Starfleet from season 1 in TNG, where he the name of that episode, The Traveler, I forget his name, where he just walks out and he does all this stuff and it doesn't actually fix
that
the
was
ship.
his name. He didn't have a name in the show.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of the Starfleet guy was.
That's who I'm trying to think of, Teague, and I can't remember.
Commander something. He had a name that implied he was a dick, and they got a really good actor for playing a dick. He was great. He was great.
He was.
It was a like a Polish name, something ski.
Yeah, Mr. Aragansky. He was a total. Like, how did he not know he wasn't the one doing it? That was the best part of the episode. It's like, no, I really am magic. I can just do no. I can just do no wrong. Like, I thought that Archer is wrong here because this is a good episode as far as the weird Twilight Zone version of science fiction they're going to take with us here. But the thing that I have an issue with is that it's not a good episode for this season. Kaczynski, the Trek reviewer, has it. Thank you, sir.
Chad always knows.
Which is cool because you get the CZY and a ski all in one word. All in one name. I'm loving it.
By the way, I love this season's warp effect and warp sound. Or is that a unique warp sound just for Trip's weird warp? That's why I kept it.
No,
I also thought that this was the cleanest and best way to illustrate something had gone wrong. The interface had been fine for a while. There was no mistaking what went wrong and how. Even though it's all imaginary, I felt it was really clear, guys.
Oh, I loved this little graphic. It gives you a visual of maybe that's how a warp drive works. It was creative and it's on.
The mix is
they,
bad.
They were always good with on camera graphics on this show.
Yeah, I agree. I love that this kind of just explains it to like at this point, my dad and I would be watching this show as it aired, and maybe my mom was doing something in the house, but if she wanted to sit down on the couch for 5 minutes and watch this with us, she was not a Star Trek or a science fiction person ever. If she wanted to sit down there and, watch this, well, what are they doing? I don't understand this scientific gobbledygook, stuff that they're talking about on screen. But I can look at this. Oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, that doesn't look very good.
Especially after that pejorative noise it just made.
Yeah.
It does it all. It's like, whoa, my gosh, his check engine light's on.
Exactly.
So Trip, he's heroic during this. He saves the ship, by the way. This is by the way, did anyone think that maybe this is why they got the glass booth after this, designed it to the next generation of ships?
The glass booth?
Where Spock goes in and takes the mains offline.
Oh.
Like, is that why the warp engine isn't exposed as much as it is in this show? Because this warp engine's just sitting there. We never see if we see the core, it's not like where Trip's ever working. Trip works on that part. It's a really cool prop. I love the warp engine, but it doesn't look like any
You're
other warp engine.
talking about Wrath of Khan, right? And even
yeah, I'm saying maybe
one, we didn't see that until that movie, and that was the refit. And we don't see anything like the glass room on the TOS main engineering set. So maybe they didn't even have that then. Who knows?
Mark's with us, by the way. He thinks that this is a kind of a crazy move by Archer. Anyone want to chime in on Archer's leadership here? I don't think it's a good time to run the experiment. Look what it's doing to Jolene's bridge. I mean, she is hot already, but she doesn't need that fire to make her any hotter. But by the way, for comparison here, how much better is this than New Trek Fire?
It's actual fire. New Trek, for some reason, doesn't want to use actual fire.
And we haven't seen it here before.
Bridge, it just shoots out a propane.
Always
tanks
in the same place. We've never seen fire here before. This council never blew up before. We've seen Hoshi have this problem, but we haven't seen this happen to her yet that I remember. So I enjoyed this little, chaos on the bridge, and then here's Trip. And he's in plenty of trouble. And this part didn't need to be here, but Hoshi's in it. I think we just take a moment to point out that Hoshi is in the episode, guys. She looks really beautiful in this, doesn't she?
Yeah,
always does.
Yeah, she looks great right here. And by the way, I like that she has like a little bit what looks to be a actual notebook next to her, doesn't she? We still need some backup and some analog.
Yeah.
It was the script.
Yeah.
I forgot to take it off.
Hoshi's like, will it be out of picture? Yeah, Linda's like, it'll be out of picture, right? They're like, yeah, no one will ever see the script. She's like, I'm just going to read my lines. I want to get them right. There's a lot of techno babble here. But what I liked about this shot was it was very well composed, and she looks beautiful, and it cuts right to Jolene. I didn't have to do much cutting there to keep compliant with that, but there we go. And we have a really bad problem. This is where the warp engine blew up, and we can only imagine. She says if it was any worse, there would have been a breach. So, yeah, Trip did a thing or two before he got hit by that explosion. He lessened the impact, is the implication. Anybody think that there's anything else going on here but him saving the whole ship right there?
Oh, he'd get a medal going back after this mission.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just for this.
He's getting a medal for this.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the kind of stuff that has mirror side Trip like have a half a melted face, and old angry Trip at the Xindi Memorial, Xindi War Memorial. But as you can see, like they're doing much better than the newer counterparts of Star Trek, and everybody, welcome. It's nice to see so many people here. They're doing better than newer Star Trek because right at this point, we would have had nobody here. And they would have just had a big empty hallway And it would have been from the perspective of the damage, so we wouldn't see it, so they wouldn't have to make it. And this is where they are. You can see all these rocks and garbage flying towards the ship. That's our stakes. The ship has gingivitis. They got to stop it before it turns into periodontitis. It's really bad. The ship needs some brushing beneath the gum lines, and definitely, I'd like to see it flossing more. I thought that this field of weird magnetic rocks was absolutely fucking cool, guys.
Oh yeah.
It's a great effect. And weirdly enough, they're in the middle of this cloud with all this stuff sticking on them. They didn't have a bunch of darkness. You could actually see what was happening, which is great.
This was much better than modern CGI, actually. You're going to see a lot of it, guys. I got all the CGI I could without getting in trouble. Every effect that there was in this episode is represented in the video and is in motion. So, this is it. Trip's fucked. He got hit really hard in the head. There is a really bad problem. Trip has been injured to the point that there's going to need to be more than just ordinary medical means of their time.
He's so injured, he has to wear a surgical cap.
So, yeah, he's a wreck. He's not going to be okay anytime soon. And Archer has to make a decision here, and he's going to talk to Phlox. And the deal is Trip's just not going to make it unless we do some weird stuff that's on the edge of ethical. Now, there's a way to keep
faucet off the back. I'll never not be distracted by that Kohler faucet, by the way.
Or the paper towels that his arm is blocking. Yes. JT likes to point out that he hates the paper towels. You know what, JT? Look at that great TOS-style intercom on the wall. They wouldn't need to put fucking telephones in this ship.
Are you telling me that they use hardwired communication on a starship?
And they're not copper wires either. They're some kind of future like fiber optic wires.
I mean, you could use aluminum too. This was
they never even had outright
have in the future. Yeah.
They never had outright wires in old Star Trek. Yes, there were cables, but we didn't see the ends. And if we did, they were weird. They had weird stuff that made it up with the component, the reverse polarity, or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Last week we saw copper wires.
It's always fiber optic wires, and then that's because you could just go
even in old Star Trek. If you could if you could see the cable, you couldn't see the end, the exposed copper. If you could see the end of the cable, it was different. You know what I mean? It was some sort of sci-fi thing.
And Radioactive's disappointed that they're using that they don't have touch tone phones.
Well, you know what it is? Archer is very old-fashioned. He has a rotary.
Oh, in his quarters?
Yes, yeah, next to his picture of a Pan Am clipper. So Dr. Phlox just happens to have anticipated this, and he has some ravioli marinating in urine. There you have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is going to be very controversial to say here because people are going to have, to make up their minds about whether this is right or wrong. But I think that we're going to wade out into the water to a point where we can row with this analogy, if anyone understands my meaning.
I don't.
And then we can row back and we can wade to shore.
Into that one. I do not want to wade into that one. Yeah.
It's a Roe v. Wade fucking analogy.
Oh.
Yeah, well, next time people will get it. It's a Roe v. Wade analogy, but one thing I will say here, I'm glad that Phlox's lab is a bit untidy. Some of these test tubes are a little out of place. It's just slightly disorderly. He's a working doctor.
Question for you, Admiral, sir. They've lost multiple crewmen already on this. Why on this voyage? Has he not used?
I don't know.
Anyone else?
You know what? I don't know, and I'll say this: since this will tank the mission, and we're going to find out next week that if this mission doesn't go off like a charm, everything's fucked. Since this will tank the mission, where's Daniels? Yeah, where's Daniels?
Yeah.
So he shows up. It's like, Cap, let me rewind time for you, sir. bye. You know,
And that-
bye episode.
And that's how it's kind of suffering. The whole Daniels thing almost introduces
It hurts
the
every
same
episode.
the same problem that Strange New Worlds has, is that Pike knows how he's going to end, so he can do anything the F he wants. And
Not
doesn't have to
anymore.
worry
He's
about it.
17 years past when he's going to die. He's already beat it.
Oh, okay. Well, in the
Their
beginning,
star
of it, you know
date
what-
is
well, you know what I
13
mean. Like, you know.
Oh, yeah, no.
If Daniels doesn't
It's
show up,
actually, no,
Archer
it's
knows
30.
he's
I'm
doing
sorry,
okay.
it's 30 years later. It's 30 years fucking later, Sean. The Cage is 13 years before the Menagerie, is 15 years before Wrath of Khan. And they gave a star date during Star Trek 3. Or Star Trek 2. It's the same week, same month. They gave a star date in that range. And you know, I'll take a lot, but you're not going to make a liar out of Cisco's father who gives the star date in that episode. That pissed me off. Admiral Cartwright would never do that kind of thing. He's a Cajun chef at heart. Anybody think I'm wrong? Germ, would Cisco's father do something like that?
He'd collude with Romulans.
He probably would collude with Romulus.
Star date. Oh, I don't know what star date it is. I mean, I'm so bored.
Oh.
I don't even know. Anyway, we're gonna do that later. We're gonna.
So anyway, Archer's like, you know, this is very, very controversial, sir. And what I like here is all the port windows and all the outside is red. But as we get into the episode more, there is more and more plaque buildup on the windows. And I'm like, why would it build up on the windows? And I'm like, oh, wait, it's transparent aluminum. It is like magnetic to this weird space metal. Good enough for me. You know, so it passes the Star Trek like sniff test. And Archer has to decide, am I going to let Trip die, or am I going to do this thing that might be very unethical? And he doesn't even hesitate. He does what I would do for you guys and what you guys would do for me. And we're going to have some boiled ravioli. What do you think? We're going to have some, you know, fried raviolis. What do you think?
You made the right decision.
This made me hungry, but okay, go ahead. Yeah,
I don't know
morally,
about that. It's a little too pale.
it looks
Pasta's
like ramen.
is yellower than that.
I think it's because the first time I was watching this, I was eating ramen in my apartment, being very, very broke. It was very controversial. But anyway, here we go. We got a Trill symbiote mold that we're going to inject with this. I want you guys to talk about like the moral implications and the leadership. Like, Trip's gonna die if we don't make a clone. Do it. I'm like, yeah. At this point, I'm like, yeah, Archer, way to go, Jonathan. Anyone?
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, definitely the right choice.
Like I already said, why now and not before? Why doesn't Phlox have like a huge tank of urine and just store 50 of these in it? So that
And
way
also
they don't
have,
lose
like, a
any of
starter-
the crew.
Have a starter for everyone, a little bit of blood in case they get lost in space. Because we're gonna
Phantom
find out
Boomer's
some
here.
stuff. Like, hey, Phantom Boomer, it's good to see you, my man. It's good to see everyone here. We're getting into the episode. We have lots of video and visual aids this time. Sirs, madams, welcome to Saving Star Trek. Hit the like and follow. We're gonna try to get more likes than the than New Trek has producers. Now, right now,
So-
16, very controversial. We have not reached the level of a New Trek show yet.
We're close.
We're getting
I would have put down
Sirs.
some ground rules on the Mad Doctor here. I just said no sentience.
I was going to say,
it-
yeah, the decision is
know.
fine. The execution breaks down very quickly.
Yeah,
Here's Buddy Hepburn.
Hey,
Buddy
buddy.
Hepburn.
Hey, buddy.
Buddy, I sent you a pass. Let us know. Beam in at a time of your choosing. If you want between episodes, we're going to do Carpenter Street next because Buddy saw all. There's 4 new Otoy documentaries. I only saw 1. If you want to beam over here and give us the lowdown on that, you have you can do it. If you can get to the mic. If not, we'll hold off on that segment and do it with you during the week. It's up to you, my friend. I know you just got here, so no rush, and we also have time. Let us know in the chat. Guys, keep it on the chat for that one for me.
Yeah.
But you have you already have the pass. I don't have to send it to you. It's your decision.
If you choose
So-
to accept.
Should you choose to accept it? But as we can see here, the ship looking, at this point, it really needs a cleaning. It really
Yeah,
just-
kind of starting to look like the ship may have a meth problem.
I was going to
it's-
say it looks like a Soviet submarine in the year 2025. It's kind of going that way.
It kind of does, but can I tell you, you're sort of right. I'm sorry that I'm slightly distracted. I'm just double checking messages to make sure that Buddy has a pass.
And
He's,
Sean Carter,
Buddy's on the road. Okay, Buddy.
19
Thanks.
months. 19 months.
Oh
Membership.
wow, sir. Sean Carter, who is one of my brilliant co-hosts. What's great about this show is I'm the dumbest one here. I just have to let my panel just go. And I'm
Sean
surrounded
guy's
by
a
brilliant
dick.
people. I really am. This Sean Carter guy has been with me for 19 months. One more and you'll have as many as the SNW producers. And we're 3 likes short of the SNW producers. Sean, thank you. And thank you for your awesome contributions every week. We're going to try to do Twist at the end of the show too, because we figured out a way to get the Twist information. I ran through it before. Here's the thing. Because it's August, there's not much in the way of TV history. So like 5 different episodes went into production. Like 5 different like 30 episodes were in like week 3, week 2. Like every single series was filming episodes left and right. We have to cherry pick it more. There's there's actually a lot of Star Trek events, just that none of them are too big. Star Trek never really a summer movie franchise after, maybe the original run. I don't know when First Contact came out. That might have changed it. That was the last one to come out at was that Christmas or was that the last one to come out during summer?
That was fall.
That was fall. Yeah, because Generations did kind of bad.
What was
But
the
thank you.
What was
Yeah,
the
it's got some
STD
space
in,
herpes.
in 2004 that everybody was scared about? That's what this looks like.
HPV.
Okay, there you go.
I thought you were going to say monkeypox.
No, well, yeah.
Let's not name any more maladies, gentlemen. We know how the AI likes to. Someone needs to clean me on the ship. So you know what I would be doing? It'd be like, Mayweather, you can't act. Get out there and just start chiseling away like the opening sequence of Red Dwarf. And if Carla's here, she knows what I mean. These are the stakes. You can see I like this. The effect is good. It's still better than the effects today. And then we have Whittle Trip. Let me see if I can pause it in time. I didn't want Whittle Trip on camera too long, but we can pause it here because you really
Yeah.
can't see what it is. They would get really angry if they had any better idea of what this is in this tank, guys. That's why I'm keeping it kind of dull. We could talk about it, but the imagery would upset them. You can't see it like this, so this was the best way to do it. But I like the voila, and we've got a fetus, and this was evocative of 2001 and the Star Child, and I can already tell that Phlox is going to be a problem because he's way too pleased with himself.
Yeah.
He's like a jolly Dr. Frankenstein at this point.
Yeah. So, this is already creating ethical and moral issues in the episode.
Yeah, this is where the episode starts jumping the shark.
Yeah, this is the moment where I think a lot of people that watch this the first time are like, I don't like this anymore. I really don't. So yeah, I see what they're trying to do. I really do. That they're trying to maybe get to like the point where they had the Borg growing super fast in that Voyager episode, where it got the Doctor's portable not mobile replicator.
Oh,
Goodness
holometer.
gracious thing. Bruce super quickly amok in a way that is maybe not appropriate for this show.
Mm-hmm.
JT, sir, I couldn't hear you for a moment. Did everyone else hear JT?
Yeah, I heard him.
Okay.
Oh, I missed it.
Cool.
My audio's in and out then. Okay, I'm gonna do my best here. Yeah, I didn't see an episode of Voyager anyway, so they're doing right now. They're already at. This was the moment I said you make sure that thing never wakes up.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
yeah.
That would've
And
been
so
the
this
smart
is
move.
the fuck. This is the 2 days later.
I don't know why that creature that they hit. Yeah, this is already.
This has gone too far already. This is now drifting into deeply immoral territory. This should not have been awakened. This should not ever have been sentient.
They could have just kept him knocked out.
Right.
There's that problem, and the problem and now we're seeing that he has memories, and that's a big issue with things like this in several science fiction stories.
This was a
Is,
real
like, they'll
problem.
clone something, or they'll grow something, and then it suddenly has all the memories of the other one. They did that with Data in Pucard. Like one little photon allowed him to live his entire life. It just ridiculous. You can't. They got to not make episodes like this because
We call it discard on this show, but you're on the other show too, so you're allowed to use both terms.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Captain Puke.
I was glad that I wasn't around. I was glad that I called him discard. I was like Doomcock already calls him Pucard. I can't use that. I have to come up with my own. I'm like, discard works well.
P-Hard, which I think was another fleet too.
P-Hard, yeah.
So,
mine is discard because he's just a disposable android. He's a soulless fucking thing. The Jean-Luc Picard I knew would never want to be like that.
Well, and if you believe the new Trek, he actually did die in the first season, and he wasn't real. He was just a golem for the other 2 seasons. But hey, so this keeps getting moved forward and more and more and more and more. I think I don't know. Maybe I speak for the rest of the panel. You never should have had him woken up. Then you wouldn't have an episode. But
Stephen M. just said it. Yeah, we're trying to. For some stupid reason, we looked back at this moment and we thought it was good Star Trek.
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong?
For some reason, I don't know why.
I mean,
it also has
about this, right? If Trip is that critical to the mission, who else did they bring in the engineering crew that he is just the only one that can do this job?
We have that guy with the zero buzz cut.
Well, they've messed up in Starfleet big time if they didn't pack this ship with people that were able to do everything that he could do. Why is
I'm assuming he's cross-trained his crew.
Oh, the rest of the
all
crew,
his guys are cross-trained.
The rest of the crew should be able to do all of those tasks no matter what. No matter what. He should not be special in any of this.
I'm sure they can do it to an extent. It's just he's probably such an uber specialist that there's no one in Starfleet who can get that close to him.
Why are you sending a ship in space on a dangerous mission when, in a dangerous area of the ship with a person that has unique, only he can do this talents that the ship relies on to run? Like, I know what you're saying, Germ. He probably is more talented than anybody else, but they should have had a line that you draw in the sand and say everybody on this ship needs to be at least this qualified to be on this crew. 1 and 2, we should have 3 or 4 of you to do this. And at this point, they have more crew than they do ships in Starfleet. So this whole idea that he was 100% indispensable, I'm sorry, why him, not the other 7 or 8 crew that have already passed away? Why him, and why do this?
Well, there's just no making up for talent.
I get what you're saying.
They're all probably at that minimum line.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that
I believe
lapped that line 3 or 4 times already. So there's no real catching everyone up to him.
If we think back to the episode with Kill Bill's brother or son or whoever it was, we'll know that he has actually been with Archer for about 10, 12 years, that he met him when he was a young upstart, engineer in Starfleet Engineering in the NX program, and that he had more radical ideas than anybody and more confidence in the technology than anybody. And maybe Jonathan Archer's father, Henry Archer, I think his name is, was his hero. We don't know. All we know is the first time we see him canonically in the chronological timeline of this show is in the flashback episode where he walks on and starts correcting people and tells them they're wrong and like his engines can do it. We got a darn good ship here. And he's the Trip we know, like right back then. So all I can think of is he was number one guy with the NX technology that was experimental. So he's going to be indispensable. There's no one out there, not even the guy who invented it. At this point, he's his own Henry Archer. Henry Archer only knew as much as theory. He has taken Henry Archer's theory and brought it out into space. And the only problem I have with this, and I would ask you guys before we get into the fact that you shouldn't be friends with the goddamn clone, is this is what Archer's doing. I'm the captain of the Gerald R. Ford, okay? And Germ comes to me and says, "Sir, I figured out a way to improve our engines. We can overclock them, sir." And if it's like Tuesday in peacetime, I'm like, let me put in a call to the Pentagon and maybe we could do this, because that's how that works, even in peacetime. But if it's wartime and we're in hostile waters, the Gulf, we're launching and recovering planes, and Germ comes up to me and says, "Sir, I have a new equation that will overclock our engines and allow us to go faster." I'm going to be like, you write that up and send it back to the boys in the Pentagon and make sure this next plane gets off, because we have an electric catapult on the Gerald R. Ford and we know steam's better.
I knew where that was going. I knew where that was going.
Thank you. Built the analogy carefully around it. I thought I did okay.
But I guess the only thing is I do not think that Trip is that special that they have to breed, generate, grow, have a sentient person walking around, and then I'm really trying to walk around the algorithm here, remove them from the ship just to take a small part of them out and put it in someone else. This movie was already done. It was called The Island. And
it's crazy to make somebody for spare parts.
Yes.
You could say that.
Yes. Yes.
And the other thing is this: if you do it, you don't need to mentor them through their 10-day life so that they're happy about doing it when they do it.
Right. This should have not been this episode. Should have never been. You could have taken half the ideas and done something else. And made a story about, well, until we have this replicated copy of him that both of them are unconscious at the same time, other people on the ship have to figure out how to make everything work in his absence. Done
and if
something
this is
like
so
that,
easy,
right?
how come Pulaski almost gets killed 200 years later?
Who knows? Who knows, man? Yeah. My grade, I think, is already being broadcast of what I think of this thing.
JT not enjoying the elements of this episode. So anyway, JT, Germ, Sean, we're going to have some time playing with Porthos, and then we're going to let him play with Archer's childhood fly. Remember that from Broken Bow? And of course, he's better at it. Sir, he's better than I am.
Or Archer just improved it. After
Archer
years
did improve it after years for sure. But he's not
Archer
even
is like
look.
our great Sean Carter, who is just great with models. And
That probably is true.
In little ships like this. So, yeah.
Well, in this one, they're going to break their little ship. But the problem with this is that why you like here? The other thing too is I don't let this version of Archer watch my kid. He's a dick. Guys, I mean, what the fuck is he doing?
Well, yeah, why are you bonding with the equivalent of a Make-A-Wish kid? You know what's happening to him in about 6 days.
Like reverse Make-A-Wish. It's like, please don't make a wish because we're not going to grant it. What do you guys think of this child actor? The job.
I thought he did great.
He's okay.
So did
He's
I.
a highlight of this episode.
He sounds a lot like Trip.
I mean, I can think
Yeah.
of a couple of reasons that you would want to make friends with a Make-A-Wish kid that might make a difference in its life, whatever. That argument isn't even here for Sim. Sim is there to service Trip's existence. Trip is mission critical for the Star Blazers mission to save Earth. And fucking Archer is so concerned that this mission goes off well that he's running a fucking experiment on his means of locomotion.
And then they're going to take the SIM card out of Sim and put it back in Trip at the end. I see what they called him, Sim.
They should have called him Slip.
That's funny.
No, they
Yeah,
should have called him
Slip's there.
OSHA for the OSHA violation that got Trip in this situation in the first place.
How about quarter for 4?
We're trying to make fun of this, guys. We're trying to have a good time with it because this topic was just morbid. It really was.
They
No
could've done
happy
a-
smiles during this thing.
Yeah, someone said. I wonder if the same writer who did this did Tuvix.
Braga and who else did this?
Is it Michael Pillar?
That's a great question. So it looks like, of course, Gene Roddenberry always gets the top writer's credit, but you have Rick Berman, Brandon Braga, Manny Cotto.
I see that name a lot.
Manny is an Emmy Award-winning producer writer. Cuban.
Yeah, I know Manny. Now I know. Wait, hold on. Let me use my Latino mind to home in on Manny's mind so I can get insights on the episode. I'm going to
He's writ-
commune with all the other Latinos. If you guys are Latino, help me concentrate and use the mind power of the Weltgemeinschaft of the Latinos. You know what that word means, JT.
Yeah. So he wrote 27 episodes of 24, 10 episodes of Dexter. Wrote a bunch of other 1 or 2 episodes here. Wrote a bunch of American Horror Story. Both of those shows. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's why this lacks any levity and has questionable ethics in it. But he wasn't the only one that was a part of it, so it's still on Rick Berman and Brandon Braga.
Well, I mean, honestly, no harm, no foul. You're going to destroy this life form at the end of the episode. But I mean, why? Why do you have to make it worse for him? So now he's hit puberty. And that's who he wants to talk to because he's hit puberty.
Yeah, the only ones that are still that are in Tuvix in this are Rick Berman, which who gets writing credits and who actually wrote it or
Rick
two different
Berman
things.
wasn't trying to channel Tuvix, but he was like, he ended up doing it. Like, he was trying to do the same idea. He thought he fixed it. I think he thought he fixed it.
He
Inhale
maybe
Marcelo Lopez.
fixed it, but at most,
He didn't fix it.
They approved the script. That's their writing credit. They read it and approved it. Maybe made a couple of changes.
So the Tuvix thing can't be fixed. It's just it doesn't work out too good. It's only all right.
I'll give credit to both the kid and this older one here. They both got the cadence for Trip down. They sound exactly like you'd think Trip would at that age. It's almost to the point I thought they were related to Connor.
I wondered if Connor's son was on there. Yeah, or Connor's like brother. The only actor who really didn't do a good job was the very last actor who plays the version of Trip that they euthanized at the end. I thought that he really did a terrible job of capturing Connor Trinier. Yeah, he looked a lot like him, but his mannerisms were completely different. It was like a totally different person. So yeah, they're showing a Night at the Opera at the movie tonight, and she's like, I don't date clones.
Always a wise move.
I kept this in here so we could see Jolene Blaylock in one of my favorite outfits for her. What's unfortunate about this is the camera work is such that we never see her belly. I did my best, guys. I got every second of her on screen that I could. So this is where he's talking about, like, I'm starting to remember more and more stuff about Trip, like the fact that he doesn't realize he's in love with you, but I somehow do. I guess we had to do this. She looks hot, but like, was this just to show her off looking beautiful? Like this, but are we burning runtime for most of this episode? Are they just like, we have a kind of a cool science fiction idea? It's a lot closer to something you would see in a Twilight Zone than what we should do here. Our causal incident is like undermines our season, and we're not aware of it. Because really, they could have had Xindi insectoids attack the ship, and Trip could have gotten hurt like that, and that would have been action packed, and then would have made the moral crisis a little bigger. Instead, we're left wondering, why would Trip do this to himself? And we had some effects and some explosions, so we could have had a small action sequence. I don't know. I would rather have seen the Xindi use an experimental beaming technique to beam someone into the engine room to try to sabotage it, and Trip get hurt trying to stop that person and maybe deleting them, than what happened with Captain, I know how to overclock our engines. I just don't think it's a permissible experiment. Does anyone want to go to bat for Archer on this one? Time of war, only ship in the area. This is like Kirk saying, I want to experiment with the warp field equations again in Wrath of Khan. Like, it worked so well last time. Let's try just going to warp without checking the mix.
Yeah, I mean, well, he had to do it.
Kirk and Wrath in the motion picture, sure. I'm saying Archer here, not at all. And in fact, it's fucked him up.
Doing what they did with the sim.
The sim, yes. The experiment, no. The experiment is on Archer. And so everything that happens because of the experiment is on Archer. He shouldn't have done the experiment. It's too risky. They're not near Federation resource. They can't even get a tow. AAA doesn't work in the Delphic Expanse. They're in the Delphic Expanse. They're in the worst part of the Delphic Expanse. They haven't destroyed too many of the spheres yet. They're still an anomaly fucked things up a couple of weeks ago real bad. I mean, do we really need to do this now? I mean, this is not like we're losing 40-10 in the third quarter. Let's try some crazy plays.
What they should have done was they should have put a more pressing need for him to do the experiment. Like, it should have been, we do this or we're done.
If the engine had been broken, right, or fucked up in battle,
yeah, or they could have said, "Look, we have to go warp 5 for 30 days straight." Because up until now, they can go like 4 or 5 for short periods. They can't.
We just found out the Xindis can overclock their engines for a brief time and go warp 6. We got to maintain warp 5. I can't keep a stable warp bubble, Captain. I can't keep a stable warp bubble.
More justified that they should
kill off a few other people in engineering to make the choice even harder. It's like, but I can only bring back Trip. That would have helped too. That actually enormously would have helped. Like a couple of people just dead, and it's like, this man had a family too, Captain. Are you going to save everyone? I shouldn't save anyone. Fate has spoken.
There
but
you go.
Need
That's a better
Trip.
Ethical thing. Whom do I save?
Yeah.
Instead of
they had the seeds here. They had a great episode, but instead they get lost and we need to pinch Jolene's feet, which, as worthy as it is.
They
as
still could've done
worthy
that.
as.
They still
You
could've.
know what? I would have worked in a sequence where, like, like in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, it's like, Aaliyah used to like to come here and dress like an asshole. Would you like to dress like an asshole too? I would have been like, Trip used to like to sit here in front of his computer and watch these pictures of T'Pol, and we could have all just had Trip's point of view while he saw himself like massaging her feet. It's like, really? I got to do that? Well, not you, Sim, you fucking loser.
The other,
But,
the other stuff on this, I wanted to ask the panel, I guess, in the chat, did this episode change your view of Phlox? And I'll ask, and I'll say yes. For me, it did, and not in a good way. I think this ruined the Phlox character because it shows that he has no, like, okay, he might have taken the Hippocratic Oath, but then he did harm. Right? He did harm here. And I don't think that it did him any favors when he carried this creature on board and said, no, I'm just going to do it. Because, wherever he got this thing from, they're darn well going to have laws that say you can't do that with these things. It's not,
yeah, they mentioned that.
Yeah, but he's like, yeah, but we're going to do it anyway. He reminds
This
me
is
of,
like something out of
doctor
39.
Yeah.
This is like something from 3019 Many-Germ.
Yeah, see,
Yes.
they missed another opportunity there, JT, where it could have created some conflict between Archer and Phlox, and Phlox could have said, "No, I'm not going to do this," and he orders him, and then just reluctantly complies. They could have done that
episode.
And since she's off the show, how about we say we're going to lose Ensign Cutler? How about we get, and how about that black chick we met, that other, how about we're going to lose them? Ensign Cutler's like not off the ship in the meta of the show. She was mentioned 3 episodes back. So Ensign Cutler's on the ship. Why not mention that she's one of the people, she's not coming back to the show. Why not mention that she's one of the people you're going to have to sign off on? We've met her 3 times. We like Ensign Cutler. They missed an effective chip. Were they hoping to get her back? I don't know. But I mean, we loved Ensign Cutler, and this could have been, and we didn't know that about the actress. I didn't, at least. This didn't change how I felt about Phlox because I was tuned out of this episode, and they were successful in immersing me. They successfully immersed me, and I really enjoyed the performance of Connor Trenier. I thought that he's killing it. And I also was very interested by his modern gray ACUs. But I did notice that just the military understanding of Starfleet is there. There's no badging. He's not allowed to wear badging. Good. Smart move. He doesn't have a rank or insignia or the Enterprise signature. He's not part of the NX-01 program. He has no... Basically. Yeah, he gets a jumpsuit. It's not. It's not even a blue one. Yeah, no, they're not like no stolen valor or whatever you want to call it. They're not going to let him have it.
And thank you. You got a donation membership.
Oh, Ruby Hoove, you're back. Hey, how do you like our format? You like the slideshow? A little more interactive, right? Thank you so much for the for the membership. Let's see who got it. Mark Harkness, our records officer, now gets to enjoy membership. Mark, there's a couple more videos since the last time you were there. You'll enjoy it. See, didn't he invent a crime? Not even a harm? This whole thing is debating. I think that they were. All right, I'm just going to. Here we go. This is the part of the video where it's going to get us all demonetized, but I'm just going to say it. Historical events are tough to talk about. But one historical event that absolutely did happen was in, from now on, we'll call it 3019's Many-Germ, but 1930s Germany. In 1930s Germany, there were things of this nature. Eugenics, Khan speaks to it. It's rippled through Star Trek. We're going to have some augment stuff coming up that's going to be really good. I'm going to enjoy that. And one of the things that makes this such a very different Star Trek episode, or maybe it speaks to the meta, Roger Corby is a good person who is an evil robot. because his soul was transferred intact and slowly degraded. You know what I mean? Like day 1,
Yeah.
Robot Corby was a great guy. Day 5, Robot Corby probably threw Andrea into the machine because she wouldn't do it on her own. You know what I mean? Real killed her down.
You know, and there's a lot of that happened back then, Teague, and you're right, in that time period that was awful, and we've made all kinds of, well, a lot of that was illegal back then anyway, but we've made
Then
a
there was
lot of
also other stuff like when they put the ear on the back of the rat too. There's implications beyond life. There was things being talked about like customizing your baby in the future, one day down the line, stuff like that.
and a lot of this was not this particular instance, but every time that this season tries to bring up something, a hypothetical scenario that challenges your morals, your ethics, all of this, they always couch it in, well, this is the one ship and the entire human race is dependent on this ship to save the planet. Okay, so when do you draw the line on Archer dragging people and putting them into an airlock?
I hate to say this, but you know what it reminds me of is it would have loaned itself better to the way they did Regeneration. This whole thing could have happened with other people that they very easily had the talent to make us care about very quickly, and we could have seen something like how about like 30 years ago, and it's like a base on Earth, and like we lived through this whole cloning thing much more briefly. And then, like, we find out all the implications of it with someone else. And then we have Archer decide to keep the clone asleep. Wrap around with the minimum amount of our crew and save a whole bunch of money that way with a bunch of day players. That was one other way to play it. Aside from Colin's great performance here, and I think it's a great performance. I was kidding around before about how he just can't be tripped. What he is here is he's actually acting like his character, acting like someone else. There's 2 layers of acting going on for fitness model Colin Trenier. He went to acting lessons, unlike Anthony Montgomery, who had to be sent there. He's like, I don't know about you, but I'm going to take some more acting lessons. I kind of like not sounding like a jackass.
They should have kept him asleep at the very least, and I don't think that this was a great way.
No-brainer. Hi, Wes Cagle.
The ends justify the means, because they ask that question numerous times. Stephen M. brought up, where they take the warp core from a ship they just met to keep going in another episode. So there's theft, there's whatever you want to call this. I'm not going to say it because of the algorithm. There's the enhanced questioning techniques of Archer. There's all this stuff, and this makes this,
and the worst of all is magical memories. Is that why I keep dreaming about growing up in Cuba and fighting in fucking D-Day because of my fucking grandfather? What is that? Why I keep waking up in Vietnam? I mean, what the fuck?
In the way they did this show was just too dark for a lot of people, and it might be too dark for people now. I don't find this to be a good way of presenting these topics. I really don't. It's
very controversial.
It is. I know we love to joke with that saying. I don't like the way that they've done this. And you could look at TNG, right? That episode of TNG with 5 lights. They showed, very around the edges what was going to happen to him, and they took a better way out of a lot of that stuff back in TNG, where you could cover this topic that was not in this way.
Sir, well said. So, morally, it's all on Archer. This guy, I don't know. This was the worst actor of all, right? That final trip. There she is again. This part didn't need to be in the video. I just thought you would all appreciate seeing. This was the most well-composed shot of the entire episode. Watch this shot, guys. Perfection. More perfection. I had to cut it there because it was 5 seconds long.
Enhance.
We can watch that part again. Showing prawn at the movies tonight. This guy just can't pull it off. You're not convincing me. The really bad acne scar he developed between seasons made me wonder. Oh, yeah, baby. This part was cool. And I wanted to make sure you got the phaser sound effect for that one. But so Trip can do things that, Sim can do things that Trip can do because he's made from Trip, and you have historical, like, heritage, archival memory, DNA. And I'm just going to say it. They do use that in new Star Trek. They said that, like, they can scan for DNA and it can tell you what happened in the past. Like, every one of your DNA cells is a little Betamax recording you.
Or the magic Romulan tricorder in Discard season 1.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
The
they said it was
magical myth,
scanning
too.
DNA.
Yeah, that's complete myth.
Yeah, they scanned the air and they're like, oh, we could tell what happened in this room by.
There's a pheromone
dust
and some. They vaporize this guy, and he just it's one of those long vaporizations when the person pops at the end because they love painful painful
is-
long disintegrations in New Trek.
That fart I had about 10 minutes on the show, you can scan that and detect that I went to Oconee Island back in 1994 and had way too much onions on the chili dog.
We even know about that experiment that drunken night in college, JT. But let's hear the phasers. My dentist wants to do that to my teeth, oddly enough. So here's Trip. I'm sorry, here's Mr. Reed. It's the truth. Here's Mr. Reed. And he's already been a good actor, but Mr. Mayweather doing a little better. He was like moving his hands around. He looked like he was a live person. It didn't look like someone was moving the lips on a puppet. I was shocked, and I thought, but this is great stuff, sirs.
Yeah.
They must be getting them lessons in between shoots.
He's been better since he fucking failed at Horizon really bad. I think he got yelled at finally. So this part's pretty cool, sirs and madams. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the grappler, and we're going to use that to try to pull this to a dentist office where it can get a cleaning. That's basically what's going to happen here. And Archer's like, gee, you're a real chip off the old Trip, Sim. How'd you know that stuff? Oh, well, Trip went to college, so which I want to say, on my mother's side of my genetic family, her grandfather designed one of the fucking power plants that powers all the electricity that powers the fucking electrical on the Tappan Zee Bridge. I can barely change a light bulb, okay?
I don't like her in the red uniform. I'm just going to say
No,
that.
this is a rehash of a season 1 uniform that they're trying to. I think it's an experiment to see which way they want to go. She should have been wearing her blue uniform, her blue silvery, her blue shiny
no
uniform.
other reason than the color palette on this show is cool colors.
Yeah,
and this is too warm for that.
Hi.
She could have been
Welcome,
going through
Marcelo.
PPS.
I think they wanted to vary it up because
Then
her
she'd be-
nightie was too bright.
I think she would have been wearing green, Sean.
That's true.
So-
Pre-Far syndrome.
We can barely pull this off. We need Trip to do it, but look how cool this effect is. This is really cool. There's only one problem I had with this, although I think I saw them doing it. Sirs, now, first of all, I want to point out that instead of a tractor beam, they're using a grappler, and the grappler is powered by some sort of pneumatic pressure, which just proves my point. Steam's better. Okay, steam's better. So they fire their grapplers. They absolutely reliably hit where they're supposed to. They don't give anyone cancer. Okay? They don't make a lot of loud noise. They don't kill any birds. These grapplers are perfect. You know, and with 2 beautiful, perfect shots, they nailed the Enterprise. Now, the thing here is, why isn't all the plaque and tooth decay stuff going towards the shuttle pods? Should we have had a
Probably
line
was, but
to
it took
say
a few
that
days
they...
for it to start.
Yeah, it took time
Yeah.
to accumulate.
So it's excusable that we don't see it, or do we
Yeah.
maybe even see the mist getting closer?
Yeah, I
They
give
seem
that
to
part
care a
pass.
little.
The Enterprise would be pretty much attracting everything around the shuttle pods. So there's
Well,
They're also bathed in WD-40 to make sure that no rust can accumulate on the outside of the ship.
now I cut this pretty well, so it's no more than 4 seconds at a time. Watch how amazing the CGI is. Remember, all of this is CGI. This is not physical. All of this is CGI. And then think about what we showed you Thursday with the space fucking Cthulhu.
Right?
Look how great this is. Straining at the yolks. I mean, I don't care if it's a little bit wrong with space physics. This is great. This is great.
I
I'm
agree.
gonna be honest. This is why I watch
agree.
Star Trek right here. So this overcame some of why Similitude sucked. This moment was why I watched Star Trek. Anybody want to comment on this episode's I think triumph right here?
And yeah, and the B plot in this was great, Admiral. You're absolutely right. The B plot in this show was just, there was nothing wrong with it. They did a very nice job. And if you had only kept them asleep in the A plot, you could have switched which one was the A and the B and made this more of a ticking time clock type of a thing and kept all of the trip stuff off in the corners, right? And focused on some way that you've got to get them out of a nebula, which is another common Trek episode.
Or Mr.
And
Tucker
made
could
it
have
good.
gotten hurt in another way with a routine malfunction from all these anomalies.
Yes.
We had the cause and effect set up to do anything but the stupid thing that Archer lets him do.
Yep.
And they don't do anything with Archer having the extra responsibility. I do not recall him saying this is my fault to Phlox. I do not recall him saying I feel terrible that I caused this to Paul. He's just a fucking dick. And he's like, because of these omissions by the writers, Archer is more like a cat toying with its prey.
It's not the first time he almost killed Trip.
It's not, but I mean, he totally killed him this time. He has to unkill him. Basically, we have to unkill Trip. That looks great. It's a great effect. We have some great Starship acting here. I thought that's why Bakula is good. Looks of intensity, looks of sincerity, selling a sentence, selling a line, even technobabble. And at that point, I thought that Bakula was doing a better job than anyone else, or the director at least knew there was a deficiency in the script he couldn't fix. Did you notice he didn't congratulate him? It's like, you may leave now.
Yeah.
Or he was like, good job, get lost. He doesn't want to hug
He
him
doesn't
or
want to
shake
get
his hand.
he doesn't
high
want to
five
get
him.
form a bond with him because he
Yeah,
started
it's like-
to earlier, and now he's like, no, I got to cut this off.
So
Which
like,
is a
we're
mark
all,
of a good captain. At least that's a good captain. He's detaching
he's not going to
himself
let it
from
affect his. He's protecting himself so that he can be a good captain. It's not selfish.
Right, he's putting it aside. Yeah.
And this
And
is
he
almost
does,
like
and that's one thing at least we see Archer do several times in the Xindi arc is he has to put his natural tendencies aside and consider what's needed for the mission, and I've enjoyed that at least throughout this arc.
And it's kind of like we're sitting out in the like as Star Trek fans. Maybe it's like another analogy, like to something else. It's like we're relief pitchers. We're sitting out in the fucking dugout. I'm sorry, in the bullpen out there. We're sitting way out there. You know, with in the bullpen with our fellow relievers. We're eating sunflower seeds. We're telling dirty jokes. We're like telling fucked up stories. We're trying to make each other laugh. And you know what? Like the rookie just keeps ignoring the fucking pitching coach. And we're like, all of us have like thrown like bubble gum at him and fucking thrown candy at this guy. And we fucking we threw a fucking shaving cream pie in his face last week when he didn't listen again. And he still thinks he knows better. And he fucking blows up his arm apart. And the coach just walks in and tells him, "Fuck you! You're going down to the minors. You're going to the hospital. We were told not to do this." And like we spit some fucking sunflower seeds on the floor. And I'm like, "What the fuck was that guy's problem?"
They do the light the shoe on fire and everything.
We tried to help him. Yeah, what the fuck was that guy's problem? And our pitching coach looks back and goes, "I appreciate that you guys tried to help." You know what I mean? Like this, just Archer he's being the good manager here. He's like, just like, "Kid, when you stopped listening to me last week, I resigned myself to the fact this is probably going to happen." And he's like, "Fuck you. I don't care. Do it." This was cool. This was
They need
like a
to
moment of
take on the
triumph.
catechists or put some duct tape over it, because this is not a place of healing.
Yeah.
They're currently using. I mean, this, right? Yeah.
Archer's pretty upset about it, and I have some audio here. I thought we needed it. Trip is going to say it. See, that's he just
The loss
minimal
of the ship.
congratulations. Oops. We can watch this again because it was cool. He gives him minimal congratulations. There is a little bit of audio on here to back this up.
Well done.
So
I
now
tell
he's
my
like,
dad every time I leave the restroom after an extended stay.
it's what I said when I met George Michael. But the thing here is that Trip has been Trip could have been saved by harvesting an organ, and that has gone over the rainbow. But that was something Archer only brought up after he got to like the clone. This is Plan C. Plan A was overclock the engines. Plan B was unkill your engineer. Plan C is like mission creeping into clone the clone. We're going to have a ship with like one clone after another and Trip in a cryo bed. And the combination of all the clones' combined heritage memory will just get us there.
Yeah.
My life is at stake.
I thought he delivered that line fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And Archer was like, no. And we've already shown young Trip when he was young Trip, when he was little asshole Trip. We showed him what's going to happen. Are we too far? Yeah, we already showed young Trip what's going on with Trip Senior. Okay, we already showed him how fucked up he was.
What we
before
never
we
got-
injected the ball of ramen
What we never got was
with the Mets cells.
Doritos chip out here when he was like 12, saying that he remembers what was going on with Trip. He was there with the other Carthaginians defending the city. Then they were attacked by 3 Roman legions. And that whole thing.
The Carthaginians defending the city were attacked by 3 Roman legions. Arab women stripped them of their tunics and their swords and lances. The soldiers lay naked in the sun. 2,000 years ago, I was here. Well, this match will not be postponed.
All right, we're only back to prepubescent Trip like 34 seconds ago, so we'll be there soon.
Yeah, right.
I love having fun with Patton. Patton's great. Okay, we saw the scene before, but we can see her in her nightie again. She looks fucking great. We can look at Hoshi again as well, and I think we're gonna get to see, clone Trip, show his quality. I got our sound effect in here because I love the phaser sound effect. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's one of the better phaser sound effects we've had in the franchise is for the NX-01. I love it. It's cooler than the 1701s. And I thought that this plan that we're going to tow our ship out of the... AAA doesn't come out here, but okay. This wasn't the worst. I mean, I was invested in this B-plot that...
Well done.
Archer's pretty curt. He couldn't... do you think the well done was in spite of
My life
himself,
is at
guys?
stake.
And that's where we're at with these two characters.
Do I think that the well done was what?
Do you think that the well done was like something he wished he could have held it back? You know what I mean? He wanted to just be like, okay, dismissed.
He knew he deserved at least some credit. He had to acknowledge him somehow.
He can't only be miserable in his short life. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna Gonna have a
You would have
nice,
felt bad
nice
if
night.
he said, "Okay, we're safe. Take him to sick bay and carve up his brain."
I would have kept him in the brig under sedation, but that's me. And this is where they find out they're going to launch a shuttle pod. And Trip says, what does it say? You combine Admiral Teague, Patton is great, with the opinion of Dr. Daystrom. I am great. You are great line. Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I could do a mashup of that, Phantom Outsider. Thank you for that great idea. I should do the one, Pat. Patton is great, and the opinion of Dr. Daystrom. I am great. You are great. And like maybe Pat, like, I'll be allowed to fulfill my destiny. I had fun. Did anyone see the quick Patton tweet I put together today? I met usually
Honestly,
the day of the
Admiral
show.
Sir,
You didn't see it?
They kind of blend together at a certain point.
Oh yeah, I'm back
Sorry, I
to
was
wartime
muted.
tweeting method.
yeah.
No, I just want to
wartime
call out
tweeting
and
mode.
say goodnight to Marcelo Lopez there.
Marcelo,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you so much for stopping by the show.
Thank you.
We totally
Yeah, Marcelo.
appreciate it. You are the best. And you're going to miss it here, but we had a very controversial. Well, I'll show the tweet later, but let's add back to our stage Trip here,
On my way.
and he has his moment with Archer here, where he's pretty much the Trip we know, and here he is.
Fake.
He's pretty much the Trip we know, but he's trying to flee, and he decides not to. And part of it's because he has nowhere to go, and because he would have to pee in a bottle, and he's accelerated aging, so that's a problem. And the other problem that he has is that he is too much like Trip to not do the right thing. This clone, and this is crazy that we had to make him want to do this. This
Yeah,
is
why-
crazy that we had to make him want to do this.
It is crazy
This is
town.
exactly, Trelane, if you think I'm going to happily and merrily slip my head into that loose noose for your amusement, you're sorely mistaken. I mean, this is, you know what, Captain? I think I will just do that. Where's that deletion booth at? I mean, this was just after all that. But I mean, Colin Trenier is just that charming. He's Don Johnson. He's in space. He's Tubbs. This time he's just, I'm sorry, he's Crockett. And this time, unfortunately, Crockett is lost inside of his alter ego of Burnett. You see how I wrapped my two favorite things together there?
And again, Admiral, if this individual is so important on your crew that you have to violate all of your medical ethics to do this, why don't you have a couple Makos around this guy at any given moment to
You don't
make sure
wanna
that he's
make
not
him feel
going to do
bad.
this? Why don't
Can't
you
afford
just
the
pull
extras.
out, why don't you just pull out a phaser and stun him?
I would be
here,
armed.
right then and there.
I'd be armed now. I'd be
Yeah.
armed. Kirk, by the way, Kirk would be armed now.
Oh, 100%.
What if this fucking wacko who has an intuitive understanding of the fucking cargo bay is like, if I'm going to die, so are you, and opens up the fucking hangar? He could do it. Like, just casually walk over to Archer like he has something to say, and then just like make a dash for the fucking control panel. Bloop, bye, Captain. And hold on to that handrail and then close it and be like, well, since we don't need a clone of the captain, I wonder who's going to make the call. To Paul, last night was rather splendid. What do you think?
Yeah,
I
mean,
would've tried
the
it.
possibilities are endless for your plan to go awry after you've already invested so much and you protect your investment
way.
so little.
And that's where we're at just a minute and a half later. They moved through the cycle of grief a little too fast, especially considering he was grieving for himself. And he was talking about how he has no family.
Yeah, you get over that sort of stuff pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was just some clone.
And Porthos is like, "Can I eat the rest of them when you're done?"
So here
Put
she
him
is in
the
her proper
protein
outfit.
resequencer.
She came here for a reason, so that's why she wore this outfit. This outfit also looks like it's like a fugitive from Futurama, but I like it. Is this new for this season? This is not a new recreate. This is not another attempt at an old outfit. This is new.
She's worn it earlier this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the same. By the way, I just wanted to show.
Whoa.
That
This
was
is for
unnecessary.
comparison. Well, I wanted to show you how pretty women stand with their arms behind their back.
We've been good today, and you punished us.
I'm trying to compliment Jolene. Notice Jolene stands with her arms folded behind her back above her ass, like Connie and Nuhura do.
We
and then
thought-
look how Chapel dresses. Chapel
No, I'm
stands.
sorry. We were expecting T'Pol, and you gave us that other shit. We're
I
gonna
gave
start.
you
We're gonna
Hoshi.
have to, we got a new nickname for you, sir.
Yeah.
It's Admiral Tease.
I
So
like it.
just make sure you skip that on the way back.
I can. It's central to my thesis on why this episode is good. I'm going to show that and explain that Star Trek used to have an attractive cast, whereas now it doesn't. I mean, if
Very
you want
true.
to see unattractive women, you can just go walk down the street. I want to see a woman who's Hollywood beautiful. So there we go. Trips did a good job, or Sim has done a good job, and Archer's proud of him in spite of
My life is
himself.
at stake.
But of course, like the young college kid mentality he is, he decides that he's not going to run away from home. The Uncle Archer is right, and Phlox. There's a pretty cool emotional scene, and it's earned. And this is how Trip gives it up. But then before he can go, Pro Counsel Archer has decided that he can have one last night as a man. I don't know what else to say about this one. Let's talk about how we got to this point. And
Before
let's
there, we
face
have
it,
a,
we leave them kissing. When we do that, that means stuff happened after. We leave them making out intensely, and we start homing in on their face, and then it goes to dark.
But this is where T'Pol can claim when Trip wakes up, it never happened. We've never done anything, and she basically gets a freebie.
How'd you know I like that? How'd you know to stick your tongue
we have a
there?
donation here, Admiral, from Radioactive.
You see it, Admiral?
I see it. Thank you so much, Radioactive. A $5 United States super chat. Now you know how a tripwire became an essential feature of every Jeffries tube. Oh, thank you so
Someone made a
much,
B'Elanna joke earlier,
Radioactive.
too. Yeah.
We've
thank
been
you,
having some
Radioactive.
fun. Thank you. Guys, we between episodes, we'll get to your chat. And then I think Carpenter Street will probably only be I think we do that one in about 35 minutes because there's not a lot going on in Carpenter Street. This one tries to mess
We'll be
around.
done quickly with that. I
Yeah.
guarantee
Yeah.
it.
This is the deal with this episode is a conversation because they mess around with a lot of scientific and Star Trek themes. They don't do the most fantastical job of it the whole time. But, thank you, Radioactive, for underwriting today's show and helping us out. I really do appreciate it. And, thank you, Ruby Hoove, too, for the new members. And, we got some members, and there's been videos and video production. And we have a Star Trek focused show with a very heavy Star Trek script and some very heavy Star Trek preparation. And that's what we like. This is the way we like to do it. This is showtime for us. Rather than just watch the episode, which was preferred, communal viewing is preferred. But you know what? We could do that on Germ's channel. And then this one is just all killer, no filler. And we've looked at T'Pol enough. Notice her arms are behind her back, like an attractive woman should be. Now, Connie and Nuhura have their arms behind her back. Now, they're trying their best, but they don't have much regard for Jess Bush in
That's
a body
Nuhura.
positivity move.
Look how straight she is.
That is Nuhura. Her hair's different every week now,
Really?
and she's been
Okay.
made over into a Romulan.
I see.
Look how straight.
Yeah, she's a
that
Romulan. I don't know. They all look the
is.
same. Look how, actually, it's not even straight. She's bulging out in the middle. Like where most women dimple in, she bulges out, and they've given her that gathered gray thing right there to accentuate her terrible figure. They
Can
are
you get this
horrible.
off of the screen,
attacking
please?
her figure.
It's a horrible costume.
If I wanted to see this, I'd go to Walmart. Please move along.
Germ has spoken.
Oh God.
That's okay. I have the Jolene part reloaded. I just used the same part again so we can see how beautiful she looks. It's a nice palette cleanser.
Admiral.
I told you I'm retarded for fucking 3 days after Strange New fucking Worlds. Stop!
Yeah, it's last
Buddies at Comic-Con, I'm so jealous.
Oh man.
You gotta wonder this to Paul, go to Fox. Hey, do you mean to clone Trip? Because Enterprise needs him. Archer is his friend, and DePaul has her own agenda. DePaul's just like, seriously, like, Trip takes her virginity, but Trip doesn't take her human virginity. It's weird. Like when she loses her virginity for what I would assume to be the fourth time, right? Would that be the fourth time? That would be there. I guess she has the possibility to lose it up to 6 times between humans and Vulcans. I mean, you could probably go 9 if you want to bring in like a Uridian or something like that.
I don't think that math adds up, but okay.
Well, there's 3 places that you can go only once for the first time. I'm saying.
Okay.
College math.
Yeah, but what can I tell you? All I'm saying is that Paul is way ahead of the game here, and I like the. Is this the scientist in her? Anybody?
What, you mean?
Does she have any?
Experimenting with what
Did
she wants?
the logic tell her that what the compassionate thing she's about to do is this space crack, or is this hanging out with humans too much? Is this compassion? Is this science, or is it a combination of everything she needed to do to pull her brain together to a place where she would fuck this poor clone?
I think she's just corny.
Yeah. It's been almost 7 years, so it's about that time of the decade.
It's not a pond too far anymore. All right, so like I said, this is one of our rules of television that we used to learn to love and respect and expect. T'Pol and Trip are kissing here in front of, the camera, and what happens is we linger on them. It goes to dark. I believe that's where the commercial is for the final sequence where we lose Trip. But here's the thing. We know more stuff happened because it went to black and it went to commercial, and it was very, very tasteful, not controversial at all. Guys, you want to talk about how they handled this very well? By the way, this weird scene, it was able to be written by Star Trek writers with no experience with women because Sim has no experience with women. They were able to speak with their own voice through Sim. Guys, tell me about what you thought about this whole sequence. I want to hear my panel.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was
a sweet
decent of her to
thing.
throw him a pity screw.
Yeah, and I mean, and they didn't like all out make out. It was a sweet kiss. It was tastefully done. I'll give it that.
I think it was the only logical thing for her to do. She calculated, how are we going to get this
I'm going to get this clone to the
to do what we need him to
medical
do?
bed.
Yep.
Right.
It's only logical that I appeal to his human irrationality.
Wouldn't it be funny if we saw her taking like some like Vulcan erogenous drugs and like so like putting in an extra dose of the nose numbing agent so she doesn't have to smell the humans? It's like, it's been a long time since I've needed this.
The only flaw in her plan is that the post clarity, he might think better of this whole thing and run away again.
Yeah, right after this kiss, he said, "Just the trip."
Just the tip of Trip.
Just the trip.
Yeah.
I'm
Trip
just
stick.
thinking here though. Why not just clone the clone? Keep that one unconscious. I mean, I think you've really fucked up here. You've introduced so much scientific doubt, but yeah, it was a sweet kiss. Their heads linger in proximity to each other. And does anyone think that more didn't happen?
No,
I don't think anything else happened.
no.
I think that sucks.
I don't think they did.
We disagree. Next time you go check fixing the warp engines, you goddamn stupid hick.
What would have been funny, and they might have done it in TOS, was to have her like flirt with him all the way to the medical bay, and then the second he steps in, they tap him with a sedative, right?
She just edges him, and then it's like,
They hit him with, like, Phlox gets him in the neck with a sedative, and as he's falling,
Phlox knocks him out, and then he was Phlox blocked.
Yes.
Ah! I was gonna say we could have had have Phlox knock him out, and as he's falling to the floor, Archer and Reed both stun him at the same time. Like, we're not taking any chances with this one, Captain. Sir, we're not gonna have any more problems. Yeah, how bad will it be after an episode of Starfleet Academy? I keep swearing not to do these things, but I'm probably gonna end up watching it, aren't I? We already know.
It airs. If it airs.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to air. Right now, that's not a prediction. I'm not making it official, but I've been saying this for a long time, and this is official. And Germ was there when we came up with this together. We reasoned it out. It was my assertion, but he backs this 100%. We came up with this one together. Germ, is any Star Trek project real until the moment it drops?
It's only theoretical until you actually see it.
Yeah,
Until
and
you
even
hear a
like
budget's
what
been given, it's all floating.
and the credits have to roll. I'm waiting for one to get ripped off in the middle. I thought that Section 31 would just end in the middle there. Just like we thought better of it. We know we're wrong. That was 96 minutes of fucking horror. And Wes Cagle, sir, where my Hoshi at? Well, I mean,
She
Wes
was on
Cagle
earlier.
asked.
You just gotta not be sleeping, Wes.
Can't-
That's all.
Don't sleep on Hoshi. You know what, Wes Cagle, since you're here, sir, and since I spent so much time making this video today, and you know, guys, the video essay will be longer. There's only 2 minutes of video in this whole slideshow. What I decided to do is 5 seconds worth of video was just a lot easier to work with than 10-second slides. It took a lot less time, and I don't know. What do you guys like, the slides or or like the video essay style, like video essay slides?
I'm liking this.
Yeah,
Video
so-
essay slides are actually easier than making the regular static slides.
That
So
works.
there we go.
Yeah.
We got to see Hoshi again. You'll get to see her one more time. Trip's gonna say a couple of lines here. Archer's gonna even say a line here. We're gonna get to hear the phasers. My dentist has to get one of those. This was the highlight of the episode, CGI-wise. It's better than any CGI and more prolonged than any CGI we see in modern Star Trek, and was probably done by 20% of the people. 10 or 15 people did this, right? Maybe 30?
Mm-hmm.
The CGI team wasn't 16,000 people.
Well done.
And he's like, hey, maybe you can, like, try this crazy procedure to, like, excise the tissue we
My life is
need.
at stake.
But they can't. So Trip's going to die. He's going to run away. He decides not to launch the shuttlecraft because he's too much like Trip. And he's been nerfed to the point that now he's ready to go allow himself to be, you know, parted out, so to speak, for Trip Prime. And then here, of course, we have Germ's favorite part of the show where we show that Jess Bush should not wear a catsuit. There's a catsuit for you guys. That's what a catsuit looks like.
Oh,
And
no.
Wes Cagle wanted to see Hoshi. So we got, I'm sorry it happened. It was a mistake. Sirs.
I wish we could share what just showed in the.
Yeah, you're not.
My God, you guys are sick. And I guess I should just say it. It finally ended. There was like a really, really bad and prolonged like anarchy on the street fight, but it wasn't what I thought it was. What happened was craziness in the bar poured out onto the street, and it was the bar up the block, and it was just like anarchy. And like, so our local constables very quickly had some some very effective but very plastic handcuffs on a lot of people, and I was I gotta say I'm pleased with what happened. Hey, what are you gonna do? It's Saturday night. Not everybody's smart enough to stay home and watch Star Trek, right?
100%. Yeah.
So this,
No.
I thought, Colin Trinneer's moment here. I thought that when I had to make the video cut decision, I thought that, you know, there's a minute or two after this where he lays down and stares off into space. But to me, this was the moment that counts, where he makes his decision. I wish Phlox would have grabbed his arm and strapped it to something and then pulled that arm straight out and had like three oxygen tubes going in there. But then we're back to this. And there's something to be said for the very end of this where Trip does the right thing. How do we think we handle the whole medical thing? And then we'll talk about our Starfleet funeral, and then we'll do Carpenter Street.
What do you mean, the ethics of it, or?
Yeah, what did you guys think ethically? What did you think of this Star Trek episode? What did you think of the morality of this? I thought that it was actually ungathered fruit and missed opportunities left and right in an episode that had really great ideas and failed in execution over and over and over for dumb stuff like wanting to show somebody eat rather than advancing the plot, and dumb stuff like wanting to show, one more moment with Trip and T'Pol, where T'Pol could have had a totally different reaction that would have been more understandable for a Vulcan. She was not very Vulcan in this, although I did appreciate it for Sim's sake, because the show did make me pull for Sim. It's still well written when they want it to be, and they can do what they try to do. Yeah, it was very well.
Medically, I thought it was an F. Completely.
She's not very. She's
sci-fi
not very
medical
Vulcan when it comes to Trip. You notice
By the
that
way,
throughout the last few seasons. When it comes to Trip, her Vulcan logic kind of goes away.
Could I just get a quick question, guys? Because of what we established with DNA and like hereditary DNA, and if someone has your DNA, does it, you know it. Is Trip going to wake up in the middle of the night with like a raging, pulsating manliness and have to go rub one out thinking about T'Pol and just be like, Trip, T'Pol, I just had a very vivid dream. I think I need you to press on my ankles. Because the clone fucked her.
So just like every other night for him.
Mr. Commander Tucker, you have to stop calling me and asking for sex all the time.
Here's how you fix this episode, or one of the ways you fix this episode. If you're intent on doing a Trip story, don't have him traipsing around the ship. You have him go into a coma, and he remembers all of these things while he's fighting for his life. He has all these flashbacks where you can hire all these other actors and have them relive a memory that helps explain why he is so dedicated to the crew and why he would put himself in harm's way in a selfless way to try to save the ship.
Well, you got to make them new memories, because if they're tape show memories, then it's shades of gray, right? But yes.
Well, yeah, new memories of him as a kid or as a teenager or all of that, and you could hire all these.
How about him and his sister?
The whole thing.
How about the teenage actor with a young girl playing his sister?
Yeah.
Give him an older sister too, who's made it. Someone to mentor them, or a mom. Trip his mom and his sister. I mean,
this would have been a
sounds
perfect
very
way.
Expensive.
Well, this wasn't cheap either. Hiring all these other actors.
We could have turned one of the cabins into a Earth home, or had Trip grow up on the moon.
Yeah,
Florida has a moon colony. It's called Florida Moon Jail.
They could have reused the set that they used for Captain Archer.
It's actually called Osceola Park.
The senior moment episode. They could have reused that house.
Yeah. We have a lot of options. We have 20th century sets available too, by the way. We could have gone back to that 20th century soap opera and just gone to there's somebody's swanky bachelor apartment or whatever family home.
Right. So I know, Jerm, you bring up a point. It does cost money to do that. I just think that they could have fixed this without having to have this horrible moral quandary that it's not even a quandary, a horrible moral mistake, ethical mistake that they made here that ruins the Doctor. And they could have gone into Trip and made a great character story, and also had the risk of, is he going to make it or not, and have this whole other story with the ship getting all this magnetic stuff clinging to it. And this could have been solid. This could have been just solid. And you would have been like, now I feel for Trip 200%. So every time he goes angry Florida man about his sister, we've met his sister, so now we know, right? This could have been the best episode of the season if they had.
It actually could have been.
That's starting to sound like an entirely different episode.
Well, yes, because it would have been.
Yeah,
it would have been.
So if we just didn't do this episode and did another one that was much different, it would have been just fine.
This concept was way too heavy for this point in the series.
It also
Maybe
should have been its
if
own.
it was like season 3 or season 2 or season 4 or
four
season 2.
or two. Yeah, 4 or 2. 1, 2, or 4 on honestly anything but this one. They hadn't started shipping to Paul and fucking Trip until the end of season, the middle of the season.
Yeah, and as for the Doctor, I think he is we already get the impression that his ethics is totally dependent on what someone else tells him.
Oh, he has
He
a
let
friend
an
named
entire
Schindler.
planet. Yeah,
He
he
has
let
to-
an
he-
entire
he-
planet just go off into oblivion because he couldn't get Archer decided that we don't need to give him this vaccine.
It was Florida Man Colony, South Daytona. I was in South Daytona and I bought a Gatorade and a Coke. They were my road sodas home back to Orlando. And when I got home to Orlando, I turned on the news, and after like the first story, the second story was Daytona 7-Eleven violently robbed. And what I saw was myself completing my purchase and walking out, and I walked past the guy coming in, and he pulled out a gun and stuck it in the face of the fucking guy at the.
Man.
Yeah, I was just
Whoa.
like walking up, and I saw myself waving without looking back. Thank God I didn't look back. I might have I think that we all know I definitely wouldn't have tried to be a hero, but I mean, who knows? I mean, he might have seen me. One moment's hesitation. It's like, and like as he's yelling at the guy, you see my car like with the license plate pixelated out, like pull out and drive away, and it's like, and the disdain of people who didn't try to do anything. I was like, damn it! If I had known the guy was being robbed, I would have at least called 911. Fuck you! I'm from New York. I'm not that mean. It's like, well, you at least know it was out of state people. It's like, are the cops gonna come? Like, no one from Florida would be this mean. I'm like, the person from fucking with a gun in the fucking guy's face is from Florida, you asshole. All I did was patronize the place. Scumbags. I hate Wesh. That's the Florida, Central Florida CBS affiliate. Yeah, I never watched them on Paramount Plus. Don't watch Wesh. Sorry, I got triggered by South Daytona. Admiral's good for a good rant once in a while. What can I tell you? We didn't play the Patton music, but it wasn't that crazy of a rant.
Yeah.
You could have just thrown the part you needed.
Shall we rate this thing?
We're just gonna finish the. We're gonna show the funeral and give our thoughts on that,
okay.
and then we're gonna be done with this one. Here we go.
I forgot.
And
about
then
the
we
part,
will
yeah.
rate this thing. Yeah. I didn't bust my ass for like. This took like 4 hours.
In all my years in the Expanse, I've never met anyone who was more Floridian.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! Miskatonic, my madman, my friend. Oh, no, what is that? Look what's happening to me. It should have been somebody else. Suddenly I'm showing Trek to the world. It's kind of bad for my health. Believe it or not, it's a flying pair. I never thought one get sent to me. It's flying away, 'cause there's wings on that pair. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just Teague. All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. You know what, man? Where were you the other day? We were missing you. I hope everything's okay. Glad you made it. Welcome to the Star Trek party. We got one more episode for you tonight. We had a pretty fun slideshow, which we'll show again while we give our thoughts and rate the episode because, hey, that's fun, and why not show it again? And right now, what we're going to do is we're going to disengage just a little bit for a moment. So, first of all, I guess, should I do... it's a new format. It's a new night. We're trying new stuff. What do you think? Should we remember check the poll at the start and the end of the discussion?
Yeah, why
Which
not?
one? Yeah, run
See
through
if it
and
changes things. It would be
Well, after
interesting
our
to see if it
reviews, we'll
changes
check it.
things.
Yeah.
Or should we check it now and just run down what it is and then check it again later? Right now, the grades for similitude are A 26%, B 35%, C 26%, and DF time travel sucks, yo, 13%, with 23 votes. So very, very, very baked in there, unless we get a whole lot more votes. So here's the deal. We don't know if we're going to be able to move the needle on this one, but this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go around the horn like we did with the other episodes of Star Trek. And for the first time around the horn, when JT goes, what happens is he gets to do it to the montage. So you get video, but you don't get embiggened. So here we go. Let's, JT, what did you think of the episode of Star Trek that we just watched? We just watched Similitude. Go for it.
Most difficult test facing any captain, any crew.
Oh, there's audio, sir.
The loss of a shipmate.
Yeah, once I realized it was on, I figured I'd let Archer say that much of it, because it is kind of sets the tone. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my review of Similitude breaks down to what largely you've heard throughout the evening, but you have two options to fix this thing to make it worthy of Star Trek. I do not think that this episode was worth anything higher than a D because of the moral mistakes that they made. And by moral mistakes, I mean Dr. Phlox should never have done this, and Captain Archer should never have let him. There were at least two good ways out of this. That the cheapest would be just to keep this clone asleep the entire time, but then you wouldn't have as big of an episode, and the B story and A would have to flip. Another option is what I recommended: have new memories by Trip in a coma and have us learn about his family and life growing up, make it a character story that we'd really love. The third option would be just have him get hurt and put it off to the side and just write something totally different. Once you started to see a small clone in a tank, I think it totally went off the rails, and that was just too early in the episode to really ignore. So to that point, I don't know why they didn't use this on any other important person, why they waited just for Trip. And kudos to the younger actors. Most of them were just excellent. Everything else on the show was solid. Music, lighting, effects. I loved the CGI, and I just wish that I could give this a higher score. But like the other folks with this letter in Central Florida, like Trip, that have no morals or ethics, I give this a D+.
Wow, a D+, and that's what every Florida woman has. After she sees her surgeon. I
was thinking Orlando's D+ also has no morals or ethics.
That was the worst kind of depression to live in a place that made me so physically out of it because it was so hot. But you know what? Similitude, JT gives it a D+. Let me ask you something. If we had flipped the B plot with the A plot and given more weight to the B plot where we're trying to drag the ship out of the abyss, out of that place full of like magnetic rocks, do you think that you could have raised this a couple of letter grades if we had not gone in deep into science?
C+ minimum. Yeah. And likely much higher. As long as we didn't get this clone walking around and talking. At least
since we botched the science anyway, we could have just Since we botched the science anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's happening again.
Definitely on the top half. Oh.
You're just angry to see any other man kiss her.
No, I got a eye full of white rectangle.
White fupa.
Anyway.
Amazing Grace. Right out there to the Genesis planet. So we just watched it. I think
Genesis,
this is the appropriate freeze frame. All right, so JT, you gave your grade.
Yes, sir.
What would your grade be if we flipped the B plot and the A plot? Could you imagine it?
A B- at least.
You probably could have gone to a B-.
Yeah.
So up about a grade. All
For a
right.
B
So if
plus,
you had
B
to,
minus,
Sean
yeah.
likes when we get percentages. So what would you give this? It's a 70. No, it's a 64.
Given all of the appropriate feet and kissing action, I give it a 69%.
69%. 65 is passing in New York, you know. All right.
Not New York.
All right, Mr. Smart Guy. You're on the spot. You don't get the video montage. You get to give your opinion of this episode. Jerem, what did you think?
Well, I gave this a 64%. There was nothing passing for me.
Your letter
The
grade
entire
be D
idea
minus.
D minus, yeah. The entire idea of the cloning thing, if he was going to do it, just go through it. Screw all the minute he decided to grow that thing, all other moral questions are already answered. You've already started the process. There's no going back. So that basically takes all the other decisions out of his hands at that point.
Would it have helped if he had mentioned that he was locked in because he was the one who got him fucked up in the first place?
Not too much, because he's done that at least twice a season so far. Not to this degree, but he's screwed over Trip several times.
You don't think that it would have helped the episode, so to speak, though, if he would have been like, I'm locked in because the reason he's hurt is because I allowed that test and I shouldn't have. And by the way, would this episode have benefited from, I was an idiot to allow that test in enemy space on a one-way mission where everything, all the marbles and the fate of the future is riding on us?
I don't think so, because we're already going through an arc for Archer about he's more and more willing to do more and more extreme stuff to get the mission done. We don't need to keep diving into the personal part, just that the overall aspect of him, yeah, I'll commit this war crime, I'll torture this person, and so on and so forth. We just need that throughout the season. We don't need to dip down into the personal too much. But
all right, Jerem. Keep going.
Go
ahead.
Cloning. I didn't like the cloning part in general. The pod thing they grew him out of was pretty stupid. The B plot with the magnetics, that's good. That's standard. If that was the primary thing and you just drop the whole cloning part, we don't even need a B story. This could have been a C episode, but as it is, D minus.
I think I can see where you're coming from, and I also feel like I justified my moderator role by coming up with that question about the B plot and the A plot, because that seems to be what this episode's about.
Sure.
Well, that brings
Admiral,
us. Go ahead.
Quick interjection. Head wrench Buddy Hepburn is headed out.
Buddy, you're headed. Do me a favor, communicate with me when you want to talk about the Otoy stuff. I'll talk about it, but I still want to have you want to talk about it. I like to have my head mod on at least once a month, buddy. Thank you for enhancing the stream. That means it's to Phobos. If you're still around, you're on top now, man. So, you know, swing that wrench, swing for the fences, and, you know, just radioactive. Keep an eye out for me. You have point. Guys, I love it. We had a great episode of Star Trek Enterprise to watch. That was a very watchable and enjoyable episode that had problems. Some people gave it different grades. Sean's going to give his now. Go ahead, Sean. Similitude. It's a real word. Can you believe that?
Well, I give this a D plus, just like JT. There were so many things wrong with the episode, but there were also some things done extremely well. You've mentioned the CGI, which was really good and well done. It added what little there was to salvage from this episode. We had Archer making a good command decision, and ethical. The decision itself was cool to see that he had to make it. The whole thing with the magical memories coming back with the clone, as you know, I stated earlier, it is something that sci-fi can never get right. We see it even. I mean, they did that in Alien 3. You know, like with I think didn't Ripley have the memories from before, or the clone Ripley that they made, or something. I mean, it's just always an issue Phlox should have been more forceful. Like, no, I'm not going to do this. That they really missed an opportunity for some conflict between Archer and Phlox, where he could have just said, "Hey, you do this, or I'm going to put you out the goddamn airlock because we need this thing."
Yeah, give me more on Phlox.
Yeah, they should have had Phlox be more of a doctor and to look, I don't care what we do. I took this oath and this is who I am. Yeah, but D plus, like a lot of things, it was so close to being good. Like they should have had a script doctor come through this episode. Like we rewrote this episode in this discussion, and
Fairly well. Like, I
lot,
mean, it had to be finished for us to do it, but yeah.
And even in not like weird off the wall stuff that Trek's never done before either, too, right, Sean? Like we kept it in the lanes.
Yeah,
it was a little bit foreseeable.
I did not like the C plot thing. We had the A and B plot, but the C plot of T'Pol and Sim kissing and and I see why they did that. They did that to progress the relationship between them as a catalyst to get them to talk about it. But that wasn't needed at all. But and at the end, I was glad that Sim did what Trip would have done. He would have sacrificed himself, and we saw Trip act like that in Shuttle Pod 1. He was, hey, I'm going to go up here and just freeze myself.
He magically remembered having been out there with Malcolm too. He was like, I thought of something worse. Unless Malcolm told him, maybe because Malcolm was hanging out with Sim a lot too.
No, but as
which
he
was
grew, as
crazy.
he got older, though, he obtained the memories that Trip had gone up into that, so he would have remembered Shuttle Pod 1 by then. That was season 1, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I guess
so
you're right. Oh my God, it was age related. You're right. Yeah, it's so mean.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they had Trip make the right decision, because that was acting. That's something Trip would have done. But yeah, anyway, just to wrap it up, I give it a 68, let's give it a 69.69.
There you go.
And
there you go.
When I went and rewatched this, I didn't hate it as much as I remembered hating it. The same like with North Star. So I'm glad I went back and watched it. There were some things.
North Star was more fun than this, but yeah.
Yeah, so there it is. I've rambled.
North Star had a lot of laughs to it. This one had some good sci-fi and some really good CGI. So Sean's going with
69, D+.
D+.
Oh, and to answer your question about if they had flipped the A and B plot, I don't think it would have changed my grade.
Okay, all right. It's still the very provocative question I like to ask. And you know what? I would just say I don't know if I asked the question, so I'll just throw it to Germ and JT. Should Archer have revisited the fact that morally he was locked into allowing this whole clone thing to happen because it's his fault in the first place for his dumb command decision? Because I think that was a missed opportunity.
I don't know. I don't think I would have cared to have seen that. I don't like it when they do that kind of stuff. I just like the captain to make the decisions, and that's just what they are at that point.
It would have been a great captain's log entry just to show him that he had to struggle with it. It could have been a 30-second captain's log. And
that's a great idea. I like that.
At most. But in general, I'd want them to stay away from that because they're trying to build his slow deterioration over the season. If he verbalizes it like that, that just pushes it too far at this point.
Another good point. That is another good point.
Wow, looks like
we took a poll and the chat got a very high opinion of the episode. Well, no, Admiral Teague hasn't gone yet. I gave this a B even. I thought that it was such a mixed bag, but that the bad part had really good performances. I appreciated being allowed to male gaze up and down to Paul through this whole episode and undress her with my eyes. I enjoyed that. But I also thought that she gave a very good performance. I'm still wondering if it's space crack brain damage that did this to her and brought her to the point where she wanted to sleep with Trip, because in my opinion, that's what happened after that kiss. And I think you guys are just wrong, but we agree to disagree. I think that the CGI, the pulling it through the space plaque, the asteroid field of magnetic asteroids, all that great stuff, the special effects we saw. This was an episode worth watching, and our chat has 25 votes. A 24%, B 32%, C 32%, D F I don't do time travel. It sucks, yo, 12%. Admiralty gives this one a B even. I give it, I guess, would that be a 75 in other schools outside New York?
No, it would be like a B even is like
Is it
83 to 87.
38. Yeah.
It's a B even, though. It was an entertaining hour of sci-fi viewing. There was never a part that was bad enough, long enough to take me out of this episode or make me not want to watch the show. I thought it was absolutely an enjoyable hour, and it was a well-spent hour of my time, so it was a B even. There were a few problems and there were a few things that hurt my mind, but I watched fucking Strange New Worlds 2 nights ago, so I might not be that objective. I did think that the music was fantastic. It came in and really accentuated a few parts of the show, especially the parts where he was in danger. I thought that Sim's bravery was really cool. I thought that it was slight but not full redemption on the Tuvok's idea. It showed that the Tuvok's idea led to something. At least we got a good performance out of it from Colin Trenier. We had what was going on here was we made a bottle episode that had some external stakes as well. We did not ignore the Xindi arc, but we did have the really bad dumb command decision. And this episode, I would have been able to look the other way if the B plot had been the A plot and Archer had regret about not. I would have made the B and A if the B plot had been the A plot, and if Archer had regret about running that experiment in time of war on a desperate mission to save the entire Earth. We don't need to go 5.5. We need to destroy that weapon. So, bad captaining by Archer there. I gotta give it a downgrade for that. But this was a good hour of TV and okay, but not fantastic hour of Star Trek. If I had to grade it as Star Trek, I would give it more like a C. But because I got used to in season 2 that they don't always do sci-fi at all, I appreciated that there was a sci-fi element very heavily in this show that could have been a much more frivolous and less enjoyable filler show. Bring on more episodes like Similitude if we're going to do this sort of thing where we're getting into science, but consider them better. Let's consider them better. You were almost there, guys. Nice try. You get a B. So that's my feeling about this one, and I think what we could do is go with Carpenter Street now. And end the poll.
All right.
Sirs, madams.
Before we
Yes.
go there, I used first officer privilege, and John the Beagle Dad actually shared a video of Porthos.
Yes, he talked to me about it today. Let's see it.
Yep.
Yeah, let's share that. I got it here, and there we go. And it's just a quick short. Let me add that.
The dog doesn't walk past like an open carry guy. We don't want to get thrown off the air.
No, John.
Oh, look
gave us
how
permission.
cute.
So here we go.
No,
So
I mean, like,
there's little
what walks through
Porthos
camera.
saying hi to a couple of golden retrievers.
Oh,
He's laying down just like Rudy does. Oh, look at that.
those
Ah. Oh, what a cutie.
and unlike the Porthos that we see every week, it's male.
Yeah.
Look at him go, man.
Wow,
Retrievers
Having
are
a blast.
he's
fun.
cute as could
Having
be.
a blast.
Thumbs
That's
that one
really
up.
cool.
Put that in the chat.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you put the link
yeah,
in the chat?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Thank
that.
you, John. That's great. You know what? Nothing beats puppy videos. We got it all here. And we're not the kinds of guys who would beam that thing down to a planet to save Sulu. Sulu's caused enough trouble. We're not, we'll test it on Sulu. Phantom says what everyone in that crew knew is that someone on that crew we're more valuable than others. So if you want to be valued, you got to up your game, be a jack of all trades and indispensable. Or you too might be able to be familiar, and you too might be able to be familiar with DePaul. Yeah, Triplicity. I like
Hey,
that one.
look who we got here.
Yeah, look who dropped in. The great Mark D with a C.
Mark D with a C. Hey, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Welcome to the show. We just did Similitude, and you know what? Because it was fun to make while we get ready to do Carpenter Street, we got to play the Similitude video essay just one more time because, hey, it was fun. These are our video slides. You know what? Again, I thought that it was derivative, but you know what? Anytime you're going to pull those Wrath of Khan strings, I did think it pulled the Wrath of Khan strings decently. The funeral part, at least. I thought his eulogy was weird, and I was like, why was it so stunted when it's Trip? And then, you know, they justified it. And I hadn't seen any pre-publicity for this one, so this whole episode was a surprise. And I think we had, like, maybe Twilight Zone-like quality with this. What do you think?
Well, I could see how you could go down that road. Sure.
That
And
kind of
answer
science
Mark's
fiction.
question, no Tuvix, but the next best thing, this one, right? So it.
Does anyone see that this is wrong?
I'll give you Tuvix. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah. You know, it definitely could have been kind of Twilight Zone-ish. I'm sure they've done something like this before.
You're cutting out there, JT.
Yeah,
am
this
I?
time it
Okay.
definitely wasn't me. Okay, good.
Okay.
Now,
I have a
now you're
sound- I have
fine.
a sound gate, so maybe I was just too far away from the mic. Okay.
That might have been it. Because it sounded like you're below, like, the sound floor.
Sure. But very well done on the video this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I made a point to show all the things that they did that were stupid, wrong, and immoral. I'm going to talk to my friend Schindler about his file. And my friend Dr. Phlox would love to work with him on it. My friend Dr. Phlox would love to go to the Enterprise and work with Mamangala. He, in this episode, was sub-moral. That was play on word, like from Section 31. It hit me a week later when I was rewatching the video. I was like, let me take a quality control watch, and I'm like, damn, I missed a chance to mention that. And then someone trashed me on Reddit and says, oh, the episode needs a catch up because because it depends on the one before. And I was like, you know, that's not true. It wasn't the one before, and this isn't what happened in that episode. And that's what I say in the video. You're lying. But he got like 60 fucking upvotes, and I got like 30 down votes.
Yeah.
Fuck you, by the way, Reddit mods. As much as I love you.
So
No, you know what? The Reddit mods, to be honest, they were honestly fair. Like I got to go back at people a little bit, and I guess they realized that the guy who did the Enterprise stuff that everyone loves also does the Star Trek Discovery stuff that everyone Strange New World stuff that everyone watches. We've done really well at that. Our most successful video ever. But I feel like Trump wouldn't do that. We've had the most fantastic numbers on the Strange New Worlds video, and it created excitement like they never could. This is the difference between Strange New Worlds and Star Trek right there. You just saw it right there, guys. That's the difference. And a little romance and a little, noble sacrifice. They didn't do it. They didn't stick the landing on this one. It was flawed all the way through. But it had some good sci-fi, and I did like the jump start and tow the ship. Space AAA was good. I gave it a B even. I think it's like an 83. A B in New York is a fucking 80. I don't know where you guys went to school. But then again,
America.
we have only, as Mark D with a C could tell you, New York City high school graduates were only guaranteed to be able to read as of last year. So, we're grandfathered in. What do you expect from us? We did our best. But Carpenter Street, is another episode. And this one involves time travel, and boy, do we ever do it dumb. And the only thing dumber than our time travel is that, of all places, we go to scenic and beautiful Detroit.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So,
So
folks,
JT Kirk has some problems with this episode.
yes.
Now,
And
right
folks,
here, you see all the best places to get microbrews in downtown Detroit.
yeah, so we're doing a little bit of a different format this week. You know, we didn't do the watch party and stuff. So Teague did an experiment on the first episode, and so we're doing a little experimental approach on how we present the episode here. So will it be to your liking? I hope so, but we're gonna.
I don't know, but this is when command protocol comes in, and I said that Sean's going to take the lead because I'm feeling a little bit tingly at the edges of my fingers. So I'm going to go into panelist mode, and Sean, you have the con, sir.
So here we go. So to start this off, Carpenter Street is alleged to take place in the city of Detroit, and Carpenter Street doesn't exist in the city of Detroit. If you look north here on the map, this is Carpenter Avenue. It is in the city of Hamtramck. Now, Hamtramck is a very, very small city. I think it's maybe 12 square miles. It's got a General Motors assembly plant in it, but it was an old Polish city where you can still buy Polish food today. And so, yeah, not in Detroit. This yellow box is where they think the episode should take place. Over here, you have this whole non-purple area is also the city of Detroit, by the way, just for reference. Mexican Town over here, some great food. Comerica Park. And then over here, for the Admiral Teague, we have Guardian Village. And then here on the other side of this black line,
very controversial, sir.
You have South Detroit, where people were born and raised, allegedly. I call this the no freedom zone down here. This is not America, but we'll just call it that. So, if we want to move on, Sean, any questions on the map?
No, it looks good to me.
All right. So also Terra Prime Forever. Okay. There we go. Moving on. So the episode starts off, and I'm doing single slides, folks. I'm not doing video. We'll see if people are okay with that, but we will see what we'd like to do here. I did want to point out that you are currently not looking at the city of Detroit. Those streetlights are not city of Detroit streetlights. These buildings are not city of Detroit buildings. Nowhere in the city did you ever have these 4 or 5 story tall buildings all right on top of each other that are all residential. This never happened. But it starts off before the credits. This gentleman is driving here, and he goes to meet some ladies of the evening. Sean Germ, what do you think?
It's legal work in this state.
Well, it's certainly not legal there, let me tell you, but maybe it can be found anyway.
Well, it's 2004, so it's still illegal. I think pretty much. They don't go to Vegas, right? So it's illegal.
So, so you're looking at this going, okay, I guess this is Detroit. I guess this might be Detroit. The gentleman walks up to them, or the ladies walk up to the gentleman, and they say, "Hey, aren't you the guy from the blood bank?" And he says, "Yeah, but I want not the first one here. I want the second one." And you're like, "Okay, the second one, fine." Then he does a little smelly rag, knocks her out, and I don't know how long we could show this on screen, Admiral. I don't think there's anything too bad. Everybody here's taking a nap. And you're like, okay, why is this guy kidnapping people, hooking them up to, vitals monitors? And, they all look different. So you're like, okay, what's going on? Roll credits. After credits, you get none other than who? Daniels. Mark, no, they are not going to San Francisco to fake Guinan's fake bar on 10 Forward Street. No.
As much as Daniels would know everything all about, it's like, oh, I come to historic 20th century San Francisco all the time for some consequence-free research.
Hold up one sec, JT.
Yeah.
You missed a screenshot there on when you were showing the Detroit thing.
Did I?
Yeah. Here, I'll show it. Oh, I'm trying to add it.
This is very nice too.
Yeah, I'll just go back here while we're waiting for
Wait,
you to
hold
No,
on.
I
find the
mean, you
clip.
did a very nice job too. It looks great.
Well, thank you.
Oh, hold on. We got it. I gotta.
You got to kick me out.
Yeah, I gotta. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. That's the screenshot. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is supposed to be early 2000s Detroit, modern day Detroit. Just want to say, if you're going
I
to have
believe it.
people from Detroit, you at least have like half of them wearing a Detroit Tigers hat or a Lions shirt. Okay. Makes it far more believable. So Daniels comes in and
as long as half of those are fake, counterfeit hats.
Yeah, exactly. Daniels comes in and says the timeline's all messed up, and yada yada. Tomorrow morning, you're going to take T'Pol with you and go back and fix everything. And Archer's like, well, why don't you do it yourself? And he says, I don't feel like it. Why wait till tomorrow morning? Well, it takes time for time to change. I wasn't quite sure how that worked.
This pissed me the fuck off because I was like, you can rewind, pause, fast forward, and stop time with absolute total control, complete and
Yes.
total control. There's never been any limit on this whatsoever. Stop off every 500 years until you catch up with the fucking event. You goddamn idiot. Do some fucking research.
Yeah. So, this was pretty weak.
Maybe it
really
is
was
Kobits. Yeah, he's fucking retarded. Maybe it is Kobits from Star Trek Discovery.
It might have been. So we run into some stupid time travel technobabble, but basically the temporal Cold War is in play and the Xindi have gone back to Detroit for some reason. We don't know why, but we're going to have two people go back to modern time for when this episode aired. So here we go. We have Captain Archer and Commander T'Pol here. And I just want to say that they beam down when there's no snow on the ground and the leaves on the trees were green. So that means that the daytime is probably about 90 degrees and the nighttime is going to be very muggy. He has a full-on trench coat that's leather, and he has a leather jacket too. It's going to be way too hot to wear those. That's mistake.
I don't care. She looks hot in that
three.
jacket, but all right.
Yeah. So they're looking. They walked through a door on the Enterprise, and they went back. I think they said 90 light years and however many
Like,
years on the calendar.
130 years or something like that. It was retarded. This
Yeah.
was like, it reminded me of the episode of Doctor Who where they're like, oh, well, we couldn't afford to pay for the TARDIS in this episode. Here's this time ring. Everyone grab a hold of it. You're going to fly through space and you're going to end up on Scaros and you're going to meet Captain Pike.
Yeah. They immediately step through. They have a bunch of these tags, and whatever they find that's tagged that's contaminated at a certain point, they're going to give the magic handshake or something. I don't know. And Daniels is going to beam it all out. So they're looking for some wheels because Sarah Silverman is not in Detroit at this time, so they don't have a hippie van to drive them around. So here we go. Archer is going to break into an old pickup truck. Now behind you, it's very hard to see from a still, but there is obviously a body of water between here and there. If that were true, it would have to be Canada across the Detroit River, but it doesn't look anything like Windsor on the other side, which has a bunch of casinos. So that's another mistake, but Archer does use his tricorder, I guess we can call it that, to unlock doors, which is kind of a cool use of technology, although I don't know how it would really work. So they get in the vehicle. They're off to go find the Xindi technology.
It's a fucking sonic screwdriver, JT. Stop fucking playing games. It's so obvious.
So, guys, exactly. They are supposed to be going in this 2 square miles of Detroit, trying to hunt down the exact location of the Xindi. I just want to point out, does this look like Detroit to anybody?
I've never been.
I was
but
thinking this is
I wouldn't
Chinatown,
know.
some kind of Chinatown thing. These are not street lamps anywhere in the city of Detroit. We don't have a Chinatown, so I don't know what this lettering is doing here. Detroit's also one of the flattest cities in North America. We don't have a hill in this city that goes up like this. So already you're thinking, yeah, this is not Detroit. at
It
all.
looks more like Vancouver.
I have some footage of actual Detroit. I'll show it here for
Go for it.
comparison.
Go for it.
Let me just share my screen. All right,
You
here we
have to-
go.
you
This
have
is
to kick
Detroit
me
this
off, I think.
morning. No. Oh, yeah, I do. Hold on a second. I have to kick you off. Sean can do it too. But I'll kick you off. Now, if you get bounced too, come back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, it says
just-
kick
yeah.
guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
here.
remove.
If you
That's
remove
how it
the
There
works.
we go.
page
Yeah,
on
remove.
Yeah.
on the main.
Here we go. This is Detroit this morning. JT, you know that guy?
Well, funny thing is, Hamtramck, where Carpenter Avenue is, used to be a Polish town. Now it's about 90% Omani and Yemeni. There's calls of prayer, and yeah, just go and see what happens if you speak badly about us.
Yeah. We'll just we'll leave him out of it, right?
To that here. Anyway,
You know, I heard a righteous man has a beard. We'll just leave it at that and keep going. We don't want to make anybody too mad.
yeah. So this was that guy from another angle that picked up the woman of the evening. And he is told by mysterious people in shadow that he needs to hurry up and collect more people of different blood types. So here,
Also,
this guy
he
is.
needs to do this in time to be on board the glider to land in Europe for the D-Day invasion so that he can then have a broken leg and tell Captain Miller that he should
Yeah.
just give up looking for Private Ryan and also be in an episode of Married with Children.
and he's to be a hologram in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah. So we've seen this gentleman many times before as an actor. He is currently
actor.
talking to somebody at
He's
11.
fine, by the way. He's a good actor. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, with a slight sense of frustration, but honestly, at least he's a worthy actor. They couldn't get James Noseworthy, who was doing a lot of work at this time. Remember him from Event Horizon? And he doesn't have a worthy nose. I just want to say that right now. But this guy has a worthy nose, and his name should have been James Noseworthy. But we got a guy with a worthy reputation.
Yeah. So he is currently going to another person's door in an apartment building at 11 p.m. saying the blood bank messed up paperwork. I need you to come out and refill it out. We'll even pay you $25. Now, even today, if you donate blood, they are not giving you $25, let alone in 2004. But why this guy in Detroit at the middle of the night answers his door at all? 1, 2, without a heater in his hand, and in 3, actually agrees to it. I don't know. But this is part of where, we learned that the mysterious evil people are collecting blood types. Okay, so we're putting together the pieces that this is why T'Pol and Archer are returning. Okay, so they eventually start tracking this guy because he was found near Xindi technology, and they're trying to figure out what he's doing and seeing if they can work their way in. I took a picture of this because this is the scene where they kind of start creeping on the guy going around collecting the blood samples. But I wanted to point this out that I knew this wasn't Detroit because even though Michigan has a historical plate with a blue background and one with white and one with yellow lettering. The state of Michigan does not require or provide front license plates for their vehicle.
Oh.
What is that on the truck? A front license plate. And all the other vehicles in this quote unquote Detroit have front license plates. Does California require front license plates?
Yeah.
They do?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's kind of where I was going with this. Then here we go. This is where the guy is dragging all of these people with different blood types, and this is the Xindi remote base. The American Wrecking Company. Not in Detroit. This building is, I believe, in Los Angeles. If not, it's in Southern California. I could not get an exact address, but this actually has been used for 3 or 4 other television shows, all filmed in California.
It's probably
Another
in
mistake.
Burbank.
It probably. Let's see. So now that they know where all of the evil bad people are, they decide we're going to chase this dude. They go back to the apartment, have a little conversation with him, try to come off like the police as police detectives, don't flash any badges. This guy makes a run for it out of his apartment. Detroit buildings don't really have fire escapes because the vast majority were built in the 60s or later. And they use smoke detectors and sprinklers in the buildings. It did not require these fire escapes. Now, Admiral, I'm sure this is probably a fixture of where you live in New York, maybe on a Hollywood set, not in the city of Detroit. So they capture the guy. They get it to agree, pretending to be the cops, that they're going to be the next victim of this with another blood type and sneak into the Xindi compound. So they're driving this guy around, the 3 of them, and they relive the Voyager thing with Lieutenant Tupac and Paris and Sarah Silverman, and they go
There's
in order
also-
like in the hippie van.
And I want to point out something here. The alien in this episode might be familiar to you. It's a Xindi reptilian, and when this guy who's capturing people for this Xindi, he doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks he's a mad scientist. He's never seen him. He's only gotten cell phone calls from him. So we see this shadowy figure, but we see this shadowy figure on the phone. And we hear this familiar voice, and he's like, I can't get the other blood types. What do I do? And he's like, you can cry and you can scream, but you'd better not fucking look away. And he throws the cell phone down. It's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. It's Negan. Negan is the primary bad guy alien.
Oh,
yeah.
I would have gotten a picture of that. Oh.
Primary Xindi reptilian is at least voiced by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who at this point has already been in Watchmen, right? So his career, or no, has Watchmen happened yet? Or was Watchmen before or after 300? Still, we got a guy who's going to be in a major movie, and we got a guy who's going to become a TV legend. I mean, Walking Dead is not actually as big as Negan or the Governor, but as big as Negan.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So yeah, they actually got a lot of famous people in this episode. You don't see that. Like it doesn't pop out at you that way, does it?
You didn't get it when he walked in and held the phaser to the guy's head, and he's like, Lucille here might just have a few things to say.
I didn't.
Just remember Barry in there.
That. Yeah,
there's a future Barry. Yeah, they knew it was going to happen.
So this actually is very on brand. You know, this is supposed to be like a Marvel humor scene where he's like, yeah, I'll take you there, but you got to get me something to eat first. Don't cops get people something to eat when they make them do stuff? And he's like, okay, whatever.
And it's so lethal weapon.
Yeah. They pull up to this generic fast food like burger joint, and it's the most annoying voice possible on the other side of the intercom taking the order, right? And
I didn't look, but I think it was Sherry O'Terry.
Oh, really? She plays it well. But yeah, you do want to punch the speaker in the drive-through. Archer orders something weird. The guy,
Turn up a little, Sean.
Oh, sorry. I may
there
have
you go.
Pulled away.
There you are.
The guy in the middle that they captured to, take him in there into the Zindi fortress orders like, meat on meat on meat and like $30 worth of stuff. And then T'Pol asks, are there any items made without animal products? They said, we have a salad, but we can add 2 strips of bacon for 40 cents more. And she just looks and says, I'll pass. And I'm just like, are you sure?
And I'm thinking that's a killing 40 fucking cents.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I'll take quadruple bacon.
Well, you can see it's kind of probably not easy for maybe everybody to see on watching it, but back behind him, it was blurred the entire time, but it's $3.75 for one combo. And it looks like about $4.25, $4.30 for the other combo. So this is very 2004 pricing when you could still afford.
It's a lie. It was still $6
food.
back then for that much food.
Yeah. So anyway, after
White
they do
Castle.
That, who knows? So after that, they all have terrible reflux and indigestion, and he's getting a food coma. Archer is hooked up to all the leads and pretends to be, one of the next blood types. And so now that they've like broken in, basically, right, they're about ready to, be the protagonists of the story. They start a firefight. T'Pol's out in the getaway car. Archer is ready to destroy all of the Zindi reptilians. In the center here is this device that they're using to make a nature-based destruction device that is effective massively over a wide number of people. That's safe to say, right, Teak? Because I don't think we can say the real term for this, but
they're gonna weaponize germs. We'll just say it once.
Yeah. And so they were using the people as live samples for different blood types to make sure that whatever they designed would work on the the widest group of the population. So that's what that is in the center with that weird. I don't know why it's in the shape of a sphere, but sure. And they have this firefight. What do you guys think of these Zindi phasers?
They look familiar.
Any
I
thoughts?
thought it was a really fun sci-fi moment. I liked the firefight. I thought it was the high point of this episode. I did think their guns were a little under imaginative as far as their actual weapons. I thought they were under imagined. But then again, I did think that co-opted Death Star birth control dial behind them, if they were using to control everything, was really fucking cool.
Yeah. I did like that. They did have to make Evil Doomsday device of the week, and I thought they did a decent enough job with it, right? I mean, they have to come up with a prop somehow. So from there, they continue this fight. And I wanted to point out that this is also not Detroit, because you can see here that one of the pipes is broken and falling off. And we don't build our buildings like a landman work site. Our buildings stick around, so how dare you? But Archer does a whole bunch of acrobatics, and it's a really cool action scene, right? They really have it out. He's chasing one of the Zindi who took the completed deletion device and is going to try to run away and deploy it as a last second ditch, because they know they've been found out. So here you see, this is what the final weapon looks like. They're going to unscrew this black top, and then this is a vent or a fan for exhaust from the building. and that's supposed to be enough to kick it into the air and start spreading it around. So Archer ends up zapping him. I just thought that was cool seeing them in the air in costume, and stops them, saves the day. They tag everything and return with all the technology with those tags from earlier. And I just thought this was cool to see the kind of prop work that they did. I really liked the device. But this will come in handy later on in the series. So it's worth noting that they did catch this stuff. The last thing I wanted to get to, Teague, I thought you would get a kick out of this. This is not the Detroit police whatsoever. Not even close.
SUX.
So
yeah, where's OCP
people may
Tower?
not be aware, but Detroit is the motor city, especially if you're international. General Motors, Chrysler, and Ford all had their headquarters in Detroit / Dearborn, and still do to this day, basically. So the city of Detroit has had Crown Vics or another Ford product for a long, long time. In 2004, they would have driven a Crown Vic. From what I can tell, this is not a Crown Vic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the model of the vehicle is correct. The hood is just totally different. It looks like maybe a Ford Escort, but it is not the correct vehicle. Those are
The
not
other
police.
cop car looks like one.
It could be. It very well could be, but this one is not. Those are not police cruiser hubcaps. And that is not the Detroit crest. Okay. Is the flag of Michigan, which is 2 buck deer facing each other with Tubor, which is Latin on the front. So that is not correct. It should just say Detroit police along the side. So that's another hint. That and the palm trees you see in the background on the right. Palm trees are not a Detroit feature. Just want to point that out. Teague, this is not the badge of the Detroit Police Department. And that's not what's worn on the hat, nor is that the hat. So they, at the very end, they arrest this guy after the captain and T'Pol go back to the ship. And he's like, what are you doing? I captured those people. I helped out the police. They said they could get me off without, any consequences. Be careful. They have ray guns. And the guy's like, sure. Sure. So he gets locked up and things get squared away there as well. Now, the final thing here, I just wanted to point out, not Detroit. Remember how I was saying how flat Detroit is and Michigan in general? Admiral, Sir, Sean, Germ, what are these in the background?
Those are the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
Looks like the GM factory to me, sir.
Sure.
You don't have to suspend your disbelief, sir.
If there was wind that morning, it would have totally ruined the shot, because I am guessing I'd wager $1,000 that this is the flag of the state of California underneath the American flag right here.
Oh yeah.
Most likely.
So there we go. That concludes, I guess, the synopsis of this episode. I know this was quite a bit shorter than the first one. Folks, the reason we did this is because I live in Michigan, so this was supposed to be Detroit, and everyone said, oh, this is not a good episode. And I said, I know, but this is the closest Star Trek's ever getting to Michigan. So we wanted to kind of just roll through this quickly. I'll give it back to you, Admiral Sir, or
all right,
if you wanted to go through this more.
Sean, do you think we've covered it all? Anything you want to point out?
Sounds like it. I mean, we had both critique and plot synopsis mixed in one, and it was great.
Very thorough.
Well, thank you.
And he was calmer than he is on Strange New Worlds synopsis.
Well, that's because it was actually an episode of Star Trek. See, I mean,
this wasn't so horrible. It wasn't the greatest either.
My question
I don't
is,
know.
why would you say they went to Detroit? Why bother? You didn't film there, so you didn't
Right.
get the film credits. Why not just say they went to LA and just copy what Voyager did? Or say they went to Burbank. Right?
Yeah.
There's plenty of other there's
Well,
plenty
there's a lot of
other
crime in the episode,
This-
so
yeah, this
n-
actually looks
they
like-
needed
like-
to go to a
like
high
Burbank,
crime place. I
North
bet you they were
Hollywood.
like, honestly, you mentioned the film credit. This is about a super high crime neighborhood where people can get kidnapped by like the dozens, and the cops won't even really look. So maybe the state of California was like, you can have the film credit anyway if you don't make it here. How about that one? We've took a look at the script, and how about you
and at
make it
this
somewhere
time-
else?
At this time, Admiral, they had a flourishing film credit offered to anyone that would film here. I think they did Transformers movies during this time. They did quite a number of films that you may not have ever known were filmed out in Michigan because of the film credits. And like they had an industry out here, a small one. So they could have done it in Detroit.
Yeah, that's how your last governor got your fantastic new governor into office. He promised to not end the film industry subsidy and ended it the day he won the election, before he was even sworn in, and kind of slapped every single person in the state with the central tenet of his campaign. And it wasn't when he was sworn in. It wasn't a few months later. It was at his victory celebration. And oh, by the way, fuck you. Guy's a real asshole.
Which I do have some trivia here. I looked up. Carpenter
Sure.
Street was filmed at the Lacey Street Production Center in Los Angeles, using that abandoned factory labeled American Wrecking Company.
Yes.
It was filmed at Paramount Studios.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's across the street
on
from
their-
their studio, probably.
Yeah, on New York Street. What they call it. They said did some in Little Tokyo.
That's even dumber.
Yeah, they did some in Little Tokyo and some in downtown LA for the vehicles.
That's why so it was Japanese, not Chinese, that I was noticing on there. Yeah. Oh, Radioactive said that's a Ford Taurus from the 90s. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew that was not a Crown Vic.
It was not but maybe that other one was. I mean, there's entire car lots full of movie.
This
production
episode
vehicles that they
didn't win a
rent out.
Saturn, but there's a couple of Saturns in it.
Yeah, if my dad were around, he probably could have told you exactly where they got those.
Oh, I'm sure. So, Sean, you were saying it's in LA. That Lacey Street. There have been other shows filmed at this location.
Oh, of course. Yeah, there's all kinds of buildings like that there's actually the owners keep empty just to rent out to studios.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that around, especially around the Burbank and North Hollywood, because it's so close to the studios. It's just they drive down the street and they get a free.
I think I've seen the Equalizer kick some white men out those windows.
Oh yeah.
Now, and this is kind of funny because this was filmed in what, 03 or 04 or something around there. The internet was a thing, but I don't think they realized that people could just go in Yahoo search or Jeeves search or Google search back then and look up the name that was on that building and seeing that this was not from Detroit.
Oh,
I mean,
there's that guy that's able to look at one pic, like he could take this picture and tell you give you the longitude and latitude of where it is. There's some guy that's really good at that.
Yeah.
I wish we could have like a Star Trek like moment where there'd be like a Kirk walking down the street and graffiti. That's mid 21st century Detroit gang graffiti. That's not East Coast at all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're gonna have
Look at those.
a fun time coming up soon in a later episode where I think it's the first episode of season 4 where Admiral Teague's gonna have the same things to say about an episode where they're supposed to be in New York.
Oh, goody. I can't
Where they're
wait.
basically driving through the MASH set in the Malibu Hills, and it's supposed
They're
to be
the wrong
outside
kind of
New York.
mountains, but it's not as insane that there'd be mountains right near New York.
No, but the topography that they're going through, it's like it's so
It looks wrong. It just doesn't look anything like New York. It looks like the West Coast. It
It's a
looks like the
Mediterranean
wrong.
climate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's the wrong climate.
And someone said, "Oh, I'm a streetlight expert." Jokingly, I assume. No, I'm not a streetlight expert. I just know that doesn't look like anything I've ever seen driving through that part of town, and it doesn't look like it at all. Like not even close to being that.
A couple of those are so them Duke boys can knock them down. They're stunt poles here and there.
Especially like right here, that graffiti is not Detroit gang graffiti; it's L.A. gang graffiti on that wall there.
Well, and the real thing is,
Sean just cross-referencing it with Memory Alpha for the Bell riots. He's using his tricorder.
And the thing is, like, yeah, you're going to see graffiti, but it's not going to be quite with that purpose in mind, and you aren't going to see people putting playbills up like this all over buildings. Like that just doesn't happen. The thing that people have to realize is 2004 Detroit was probably, I think, the murder capital of the U.S. And
that was so controversial, sir.
They were in the throes of a mayoral scandal where Kwame Kilpatrick, a multiply convicted felon, had
it was bad.
Wrong with the city, where they basically every financial crime that you could imagine was he basically lost.
I even know his name, and I don't live in Detroit, so he must have been pretty infamously perfect.
Yeah,
I'm sure at this point, I don't need to even see a statement. He maintains his innocence, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he does. He does. Well, that's because,
how did I know?
Yeah. But the other part of that is, so the population of the city after the minor, I guess, recession in 2001, and a lot of that, especially from a continuation from the 70s with the oil crisis, the population of Detroit in the 50s was 3 million something. By the time that this would have been filmed in the city, it was like 2004. And like downtown had no one. All the buildings were crumbling. Things were being torn down instead of being built. Roads were basically being torn up and turned back into like vacant land because it was cheaper to not maintain the road. There was a lot going wrong with the city, and this didn't capture or use any of it, really. I mean, the fact that he lifted that truck was about the most typically Detroit thing from that time. So I just want to say, if you wanted to do that and have more crime involved, sure. But I feel like they missed an opportunity in a lot of ways. And they also didn't get on the People Mover. They also should have been on the People Mover because it costs like 25 cents back then to run. It is a very loud monorail train that basically goes around 1 square mile of Detroit. And it was so dangerous back then. You didn't ride it because you were afraid that the drug, like just addicts, were going to stab you with whatever they were on when you got on. Like, no joke. So
yeah, well, I mean, Archer could have sold the glasses that Phlox gave him for his birthday and got the money for it.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, so I hope you enjoyed this experiment with kind of mini review dissection of the episode, of maybe one we didn't want to give a whole night to. So, Admiral, or if you're there, are you ready for us to grade this?
Yeah, let's go. That's Sean's job.
Oh, well.
He has to run the grades.
Well, why don't we go? Well, JT, wrap yours up with your fail. I just want to know what number it is.
Sure. I again am not going to award this high points because it just was a stupid episode. It was filler. It did at least bring the Xindi into it, so it did kind of re-energize the season in terms of stopping a threat that they were actually out in space to do. It had nothing to do with Detroit. for that, I can't really forgive it. So I give it an Old English Tigers D, which is a 65.
Okay, I thought it was going to be worse.
No,
Okay, so D.
I got my anger out on
65.
Thursday, and Admiral knows that a D, the Old English D for Detroit, is one of the most iconic symbols in all of American sport. So
That and you had a more personal reason to gripe on it, so I can
Yes.
see that you detached your grade from that a little bit.
yes. Other people, if you like it more than that, yeah, I know. I'm just penalizing it because F you didn't come here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Germ, why don't you go ahead and give us your grade there, sir?
Sure.
You're muted though. If you're there, you're muted, sir. Maybe he's AFK. I don't see anything in the backstage, but Admiral Teague, you want to give your grade, or would you like me to go?
I'll go. On this one, I thought Carpenter Street was anything but a Star Trek episode. It was a Doctor Who episode. It was the adventures of Gary Seven's deputies. It was Captain Planet. It sucked. This is the kind of episode that made people tune out. They threw a few solid ones together, and then they shit this one out. Here and there, a little bit of good. They definitely got good actors for this. I don't know what the thought process that made them believe in this script was any more than that there are just 26 people working on it. I don't know. Whatever it might be. There was a large cast. It had some music to it. It was a well crafted and well filmed and mostly well made episode. It was a little boring. It was a little slow. It wasn't the most exciting episode. And again, it wasn't sci-fi. It was like kind of like sidestepping into a Doctor Who episode. It's weird. At any rate, that's what I'm getting from this one. And I'm wondering what our chat will think, but I guess my letter grade for this one would be, it's pretty bad. I'm ready to give this one a D and a 60.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
Like
generous.
there's a D minus, right? It's a 60 a D minus.
Yeah, it's almost a fail.
It's really it's pretty bad. That's failing in my opinion almost. It's almost failed completely. I don't know what this episode had going for it except we got to see DePaul in some outfits and to have maybe I don't know, save some money for a bigger, better episode up front. We've had a few pretty big episodes in a row. Last week was pretty big. Similitude was sort of big in scale. So this episode, although theoretically larger in scale as we go time traveling in a slightly dumb way, whatever. And I mean, what's to say? I mean, I think the best part of the episode is I don't think we see Daniels when we come back, do we?
No, he's
No, you
only in
don't.
that
No,
front
he's
part.
only there for that one scene.
I just want to say I am very, after seeing how stupid he is and what an asshole he is and the way he's written, time travel is just an absolutely retarded method of telling a story. Stories with time travel, fine. Stories about time travel, it's bullshit. You're never going to work it out. And Star Trek doesn't get that. And I'll again say it. Everybody who walked out of Terminator 2, leave the stream now, Everyone who said, "Oh my God, he just appeared in a ball of fire," that's just leave the stream now. If you stayed in Terminator 2, and the time travel didn't bother you, and you saw like the best movie ever, you're not wrong. So that's one thing. Everybody who went back a second time to see Interstellar, I apologize. I think that one's real bad. Interstellar, I mean, And that's all technically correct. I get it. I don't know if they could have written a better story and still had it be correct, but it wasn't so great. I wanted it to end, so I felt like I was going through time dilation in Interstellar. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it the D. It's a 60. So I don't know,
Okay.
Sean. I guess it's up to you now.
Well, Germ has to go too. I'll go last.
Jeremy, you back?
Yeah. Well, 60 is kind of generous. I went with probably about 55 on this one. The concept's stupid. The why this wouldn't be plan A instead of a honking space laser is beyond me.
I think it is
Yeah.
at least Plan B. I think
Yeah,
this is at least Plan B. They said that at the Zindi mob meeting, right?
Yeah, this is plan B. It should be plan A. It's cheaper, it's easier. It has a much better chance of working.
Till they hired the
Is that-
wrong serial killer.
Yeah. It. I just don't see anything redeemable about this episode.
Yeah, I want to lower my grade in light of what Germ said. It's not a D. It's an F. It's a 55. It's a 50. I'm giving it a 50.
Oh, you're going 50.
Germ
Okay.
changed my mind. No, Germ's right. Like I can't justify giving it a D. It's really bad.
Mark D with a C is not a fan either. Wow.
No. Okay, I'll go. I'm giving this a 50 as well. And the reason is because we've seen enough of frickin' Daniels. We've seen enough of stupid time travel. We've seen enough of them going back to the time that we're in. And because, of course, you have to do that when you're out on location. You have to make things look contemporary. And they didn't even have fun with it. That's the thing. They're just, we're in Detroit, but it's not Detroit. Just go to Sunnyvale or something. It's a 50. It was stupid. It was a dumb thing. The actor was good. The guy that plays the guy that, I don't know what word to use that's safe, but the one who abducts people, he's good. But it's just dumb. It doesn't make any sense. And now we've seen the Zindi have gone back in time this time, and they're going to get blood types for some reason. And then they had the Orion girl, or that one girl that was on the Enterprise that they got to take scans of everybody. That didn't work. Or have we not hit that episode yet? I can't.
We may not have.
Well, yeah, they're going to do that too. It's just a really dumb episode. I don't know why they did it. Maybe they wanted to get out on location and get out of the spacesuits and wear normal clothes. I don't know.
I don't know why Archer had to go back and do it. Couldn't anyone have gone back there and done it?
Yeah.
Get Captain Braxton to go back and do it, for goodness sakes.
Yeah. So I don't know. It gets a 50. I mean, collectively, we've gone 50, 65 from JT, 55 from Germ, and 50 from me. It's just an utterly, Admiralty, you had it right. You said this is the kind of episode that made people tune out of it, and this one, just people are like, no, this is stupid. So yeah. Anyway, that's my review. And are we ready to look at the poll, Admiral?
Yeah, let's take a look at the poll and see what the audience thinks.
Well, it looks like Wes Cagle gave it a B. He said it was a decent episode.
Okay.
Phantom
I'm trying to pull
Outsider
it up.
also awarded a B. Gavin Blackburn with a D+. Trek reviewer would give it a B+. It was fun. The best thing that came out of Detroit was RoboCop. That was also filmed
That's true.
in Houston for the most part. Beverly Hills Cop has things filmed in Detroit that actually were filmed in Detroit. So just another thing there. Let's see. Mark D with a C. I don't think that's an official letter, but he says F the time travel. Sick of it in so many Trek stories. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
the action
it,
score doesn't
it
go far from that.
destroyed this
So-
one. Similitude didn't have it. Similitude had time compression in the lifespan of the clone. They're hung up on playing with time. In Similitude, it didn't really hurt, but that story was okay, but didn't soar.
It was a missed opportunity with Similitude. Could have been so
more-
much better.
I'm even more regretful about it after hearing some of the things that you guys could have done to fix it and things that you thought were inspiring that they didn't address.
Mm-hmm.
Mark D is going with an F. Yeah, I rounded mine down to an F. I have thinking about what Jerm said. He's right. It's a terrible episode. It's really just a laugh. How low effort it was. They're almost trolling us. The fact they're in Detroit. That's how bad it is. But we have committed to go forward, reviewing all the episodes of this. We gave you some video effort tonight. We gave you a nice little video essay. We thought that we had two pretty good PowerPoint presentation, pretty good versions of a PowerPoint presentation. Mine was a little more video. JT's had the static slides. We managed to cover both episodes. Neither of these was a watch, but also, let's just face it, our community and our time zone, our time slot is being attacked and being divided on purpose, very cynically, by people who don't even have the character to admit it, and have been spending all week DMing me that they're not doing it. By the way, I heard there was another coincidence today.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was muted. I was going to say,
Yeah.
I think, but I think we can look at the poll and then maybe close this one out, Admiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Let's take a look. Carpenter Street, a lot of people, DF, time travel sucks, yo. 41%, the overwhelming majority of people cannot stand time travel and do not want to see it. 36%
had-
divided between B and C evenly, 18% each.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got it up to a B. Hats off. I guess there's some temporal Cold War fans out there, or some people who really hate Detroit. I don't know.
Hey, I really hate Detroit. I still gave it an F.
I mean, I'd like to go to Comerica Park one day, but I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
really necessarily believe that the people of Detroit deserve the Star Trek episode quite this bad. And like we've all seen, what was it called? The Malice at the Palace back in the day.
Now that was up in Auburn Hills. Okay.
Okay, yeah. That's where nobody's from Detroit.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
controversial, sirs.
Exactly.
Although I guess we've drifted over into talking about a basketball. So you know what?
Sir, that was so.
No, that's not what I meant to
It
say.
doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Yeah, we'll talk about basketball some other time. But as far as the show goes,
is the ultimate achievement in computer evolution.
and it's also a pretty good show. Do me a favor, hit the likes, share the show, help us polarize the whole. Like I said, seems like it's going to be a little competitive. Who would have guessed that people would specifically just get like, what are we now? 15 coincidences deep? Golly gee. It's amazing, and the lack of candor about it. I openly think it's wrong, and I think it's opportunistic, and I think it's in just sheer defiance of an oath made publicly and an offer made publicly in good faith. But that's the story. Good faith versus bad faith. We have a good faith Star Trek show here where we try to do our best. And then there's people who turn on the YouTube machine pre-COVID style and COVID style and they just do their thing. And they'll take people from my chat, and they will offer you to be on there, and they'll have 15 people, and they'll just do their crazy thing for 7-8 hours. And it's so urgent, it can't wait until we wrap up our show. So I'm glad that there's some competition in town. Get ready for it to get brisk. My cell phone seems to be charged. That looks good for me. I've got some great new nicknames I'm coming up with. And guys, what are you up to this week? JT, where are you going to be?
Sure. So let's see. I know a confirmed event right now. Tuesday, I will be on with Dadman. We're going to be talking sports ball. Even if you aren't a fan of sports ball, feel free to drop in. We love to talk about other things that the normal sports show does not. So I will be kicking off our college football talk on his channel with a coverage of the Big Ten Conference. And we'll be going through what I think happens to all the teams throughout the year. Not all of them in great detail because there are so many teams, but we will talk some Ohio State, Michigan State, and Oregon. A lot of good stuff there. Wednesday, Dave C. and I will be showing off at 9 p.m. the issue 1 of a brand new comic. So we will be starting, I think this is our 4th comic run, and we've been having a blast every time. So hope to see you both over there. And then Thursday, I'll be right back here with the next episode of Strange New Lows. What we've learned from that, Admiral, I won't steal the thunder about your show, is every week there is no bottom to this show. Like, you think you're going to hit rock bottom and it's going to be sent to Star Trek rehab. No, there is no bottom to how low they're willing to go. A couple of weeks ago, we had the destruction of Gene Roddenberry and Bill Shatner. Then this past week, we had insulting misunderstanding of James T. Kirk and everything that he's about, as well as insulting the Doomsday Machine. So who knows? We could insult a whole new area and go to like the Changeling or the Paradise Syndrome. I'd be interested to see what they would do with Paradise Syndrome, but
Oh, God.
it would only be so lucky. Anyway, that's where I'll be. Thank you.
All right, Jerem, what are you up to?
This Monday, we'll have Godzilla versus Gigan for the Monday Kaiju Watch Party. And again, next Saturday, I'll have the episodes that we'll be covering here on the Saving Star Trek pre-show starting at 5 p.m.
All right. Well, it's 5 p.m. Your time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, and I don't know, is that 1 a.m. in the morning in England? But yeah, okay. And Sean Carter, what are you up to this week?
Oh, well, more of the same. Gonna mow the lawn tomorrow and make some burgers at night. And other than that, I am working on a really cool Constitution class, little small model about the size of the NX one that I sent you that my wife picked up from eBay. It's a really good model, actually. So I'm going to turn that one into the Constellation, the undamaged Constellation. And that's going to be cool. Let's see. Before I forget, our good friend Tony Stark, who sent a raid over here at the beginning of the show, is having a stream in 15 minutes. He's going to be playing some Doom, little gaming. So I put the link in there. Everyone, please go there and let's return the raid back to Tony. He was kind enough to send us some folks, and I just had a great time. I hopefully everyone here enjoyed our new format. I certainly did, and I think it was a good show. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, good time. We had 2 good episodes. We rolled out a new format. We saw some new stuff. And we'll be back next week, and we'll see what's going on for Tuesday.
All right. Do we get Sydney tonight?
You get Sydney Sweeney tonight, of course.
Okay. See you, folks.
We love you all.
Oh,
so
hey,
does
Kelly
Sydney.
Chow's just popped in and says, let's say hi back to Kelly Chow as we're
Hey,
signing
Kelly
off.
Chow. You get George Lucas first.
Do you want the Star Wars trilogy and the mythology to go beyond your lifetime?
No. 3 will be the last film, and it'll be a 6-part series, and that'll be the end of it.
Incorrect.
You're
I'm
not
doing
mentoring someone to take over for you?
no. It's
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
there may be other venues for it, but not in the theatrical release.
Affirmative.
I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek. I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek.